Chapter 2961 The demon species invaded, and the 3 lines of defense were broken. Okay, then execute this plan. The Lord Augustus agreed. A dead fellow is not a poor one, so the archaic lord naturally understands this truth. He doesn't care if the other creatures are dead or not. If there were no problems with the eternal Tao seed, he might have strongly opposed this plan, and even reprimanded the Chaohe Road Master and the others, but now he feels normal. In order to survive, he dared to be king in everything. If you want to trigger a demon seed riot, the general method will not work. You have to take out the Cold Sky Magic Stone, and activate the power of the Cold Sky Magic Stone in the abyss of the demon seed. When this power is stimulated together, the demon seeds will not adapt to this power, and they will definitely frantically escape from the abyss of demon seeds. Said the blood-eyed Taoist master. Lord Aogu, the Cold Sky Magic Stone is forbidden to be brought into the abyss of demon seeds, and only you have enough authority to let an eternal supreme Tao realm bring in, and only you can do this. Chaohe Tao Master rode. Okay, leave it to me. Lord Augustus nodded. This day. Demon Seed Abyss. An eternal supreme Tao realm sneaked in here. He is an eternal supreme Tao realm under the command of the Emperor Aogu. He cultivates the inferior eternal Tao seed, and the eternal Tao seed has a big problem, and he can't live for too long. Plus, he has many offspring. This time, Lord Aogu promised to take care of his descendants and let him bring the Cold Sky Magic Stone here to activate it. Once successful, he will cultivate his descendants and make his family prosperous and prosperous forever. Certainly, he also didn't completely believe in the Lord August, but he had no choice but to choose to believe. In addition, he still has a slight chance of survival. As long as he activates the Cold Sky Magic Stone, then leaves quickly and rushes out of the Demon Seed Abyss, he is sure to survive. Soon, he came to the abyss of the Demon Seed, and then somewhere outside, he directly took out the Cold Sky Magic Stone, and then activated the power of the Eternal Tao Seed to activate the Cold Sky Magic Stone. Boom! The Cold Sky Magic Stone shattered, forming a special aura, which permeated the entire Demon Seed Abyss in an instant. But at this moment, the inside of the Cold Sky Magic Stone hides a trace of the breath of the Eternal Demon Seed. This breath of the Eternal Demon Seed directly locked him and merged into his Eternal Tao Seed. And it was still in the special place of the Devil Seed Abyss, directly turning his Eternal Tao Seed into the Eternal Devil Seed. Immediately, his consciousness was deprived by the Demon Seed and turned into a Demon Seed. This is also one of the plans of the Ancient King. It is impossible for him to keep this Eternal Taoist alive. If he lives, it will undoubtedly expose the plan of the Ancient King. At that time, the Aogu Kingdom Lord and the Chaohe Road Lord will all die. After the power of the Cold Sky Demon Stone erupted, the entire Demon Seed Abyss was filled with the energy breath of the Cold Sky Demon Stone, and immediately a large number of demon seeds rushed out of the Demon Seed Abyss. Boom! All the formations in the first defensive circle were mobilized to resist the attacks of the demons for a while. Demon Seeds Rebellion, help! A statue of the Eternal Supreme Tao Realm asked for help from the outside world, and the news was passed to the hands of the kings. Augustus. At this time, Lord Aogu had already received the news, and immediately laughed. Chaohe Road Master, Blood-Eye Taoist Master, the plan has begun. The Demon Seed Abyss has already rioted. The 3 defenses should be unstoppable, and the support is too late, said the Lord Aogu. Just wait until the demons rush into the Ancient Kingdom, then we can start. However, Lord Aogu, you still have to put on a show to support, otherwise there will be troubles afterwards. Okay, I'm going to help. The Lord Augustus summoned one of his subordinates to the Eternal Supreme Tao Realm who condensed the Eternal Tao Seed. As for the Eternal Supreme Tao Realm that did not condense the Eternal Tao Seed, he would die. In the Ancient Kingdom, many top powers also received information and went to support them one after another. Outside the abyss of demon seeds, the first line of defense. The formations are almost unable to hold on. Suddenly, a demon seed appeared, attracting the attention of those in the Eternal Realm. It's not good, it's the demon seed transformed by the Phantom Blood Taoist Master, this is the top demon seed. Hasn't he been staying in the depths of the Devil's Abyss, how come he ran out? The Phantom Blood Taoist Master, no, it should be called the Phantom Blood Demon Species, smashed formations with one hand. Immediately, he shattered the first line of defense with one blow, and the body of a man named Eternal to Tao Realm was shattered and died. These Eternal Supreme Tao Realms are very weak Eternal Supreme Tao Realms, and these demon species can be stopped only by formations. Without formations, they are just ants, and any demon species can slaughter them. Certainly, There are also some top-notch Eternal Supreme Tao realm, but when they saw that the defense line was broken, they ran away immediately. How dare they block it? Soon, a group of demon species headed by the Phantom Blood demon species killed the second line of defense. The second line of defense was a little more powerful, and killed more than a dozen demon species, but it was eventually broken through. After, the demons have reached the third line of defense, which is also the last line of defense. In the past, only one or two monsters came here occasionally, but this time it was completely broken, and a large number of monsters were killed here, and it was impossible to stop them. At this time, a group of Eternal Tao realm ran directly from the third line of defense. They all knew that they couldn't stop them, and they had to wait for death. Boom! Under repeated attacks, the third line of defense was declared broken. Luotian City, the demonic abyss is rioting, and the three lines of defense have been broken. Yi Tian received the news from the Jujimeng. All the members of the Juji League rushed to support, and Yi Tian also received the news that one of the cloned bodies left Luotian City and then headed towards the Devil Seed Abyss. At the same time, a demon species rushed into the ancient kingdom, killing or even devouring the living beings it saw. This is the instinct of the demon species. At the same time, Lord Aogu, Taoist Chowhei Lees and Taoist Blood Eyes started to act, and secretly began to slaughter the Eternal Realm. They didn't care about the identities of these Eternal Realms. As long as they were in the Eternal Realm, they couldn't escape their hands. Certainly, they also captured a demon seed. Once they invaded a certain place, they released the demon seed and destroyed some, so that it could cause a demon seed invasion. This is very safe, and there is little problem of mistakes. The Aogu King only targets small forces. After all, the top big forces are not weak. If he can't solve them in an instant, the news may be exposed. But the small force is too weak, and it can be solved with a wave of hands. This day, the Lord of the Ancient Kingdom came to a city. Luotian City, there seems to be an Eternal Realm here, let's attack him. The Lord of the Ancient Kingdom secretly said. He didn't know much about the information, and didn't know that Yi Tian was also in Luotian City. Even if he knew, he wouldn't care. Chapter 2962 Qinhe, the first speed in the Eternal Tao Realm. Above Luotian City, Lord Aogu, first throw down a demon seed, and when the demon species attacks Luotian City, the Eternal Tao Realm powerhouse will definitely escape. The moment the other party fled, he shot again to catch and kill him. In this way, there is no problem. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. The demon seed descended, and the terrifying aura covered the entire city of Luotian City. Those mythical to Taoist, eternal to Taoist powerhouses can't resist the breath of the demons at all, and their consciousness will sink one by one. In the city, another copy of Yi Tian's body is still in Luotian City. Of course, seeing the sudden arrival of the demon seed, he was a little puzzled. Why did the devil come here suddenly? If the devil came, he shouldn't know it now. The breath of the demon seed cannot be hidden at all, because it is easy to recognize. And this monster appeared suddenly. Yi Tian's duplication talent shrouded all around, and soon sensed the aura of another eternal supreme Tao realm. Lord of the Ancient Kingdom. Yi Tian was shocked. The archaic lord was hiding in the dark, but was still spotted by the copying talent. Obviously, this demon seed was released by the Lord Aogu. The Lord Aogu actually used the demon seed to destroy Luotian City. What exactly does he want 253 to do? Yi Tian secretly thought. At this moment, the Lord Luotian ran away after sensing the breath of the demon seed. The demon has no consciousness, he only knows to kill, and there are countless creatures in Luotian City, so naturally he will not chase and kill a Luotian City lord. Swish! Wow! The Lord Aogu went to kill the Lord Luotian, and he was going to kill him when the Lord Luotian ran a little further. Then, he comes back again. The Lord Aogu disappeared, so he should be chasing the Lord Luotian. It's a good opportunity. Before Yi Tian left, he hit the demon seed with a blow. This monster is the weakest kind of monster, and its strength is not as good as Yi Tian. After one blow, the monster was injured. Then, Yi Tian ran away, and bought a seed to chase and kill Yi Tian. Before leaving, Yi Tian summoned Luo Wushhuang to punish Hai. Escape from Luotian City immediately, or you will surely die. After finishing speaking, Yi Tian had fled away. However, these strong men in Luotian City saw that the demon seed was lured away, and thought it was safe, so naturally there was no withdrawal. As for Luo Wushhuang and Xinghai, when they heard Yi Tian's summons, although they didn't know what happened, they rushed out of Luotian City immediately and fled in another direction. Although there may be nothing wrong, but if nothing happens, they will come back again. But once something happened, they would have escaped a catastrophe. The Lord of Luotian City hadn't escaped very far before he was caught by the Lord of the Ancient Kingdom with one hand, his body was swallowed into the main body of the Ancient Kingdom, and he fell into a deep sleep. In Luotian City, there is actually an eternal realm. The expression of the Lord of the Ancient Kingdom changed. He didn't pay much attention before, but it doesn't affect anything, he can catch up with the opponent. Moreover, he has been using an eternal original treasure to hide his identity. Even if the eternal supreme Tao realm finds him, he will not know his identity. As everyone knows, his identity has already been snooped out by Yi Tian with his duplication talent. Wow, the Emperor Aogu went to chase and kill Yi Tian, how fast he was, and he directly targeted Yi Tian. Yi Tian also knew that he couldn't escape, so the moment he escaped, he entered the 9 Extremes Void through the 9 Extremes Alliance token, and sent a message to the high-level members of the 9 Extremes League. King. Yi Tian didn't know them, but he sent messages all at once, and passed on all of them. Lord Augustus is chasing me. Lord Aogu threw a demon seed into Luotian City. Request support. If Yi Tian was in the ordinary eternal supreme Tao realm, the Emperor Aogu would kill him if he killed him. Yi Tian even killed several eternal realm. However, members of the 9 Pole Alliance are not allowed to kill each other. Once exposed, the punishment will be very severe. And the Aogu king chased and killed a member of the Juji League, which is a big problem. More importantly, the Lord Aogu is still throwing the demon seed into a city, so there is a problem. The Juji Void where Yi Tian spread the news was everywhere, and a high-level person noticed Yi Tian's message. Yi Tian, a newly promoted member of the 9 Extremes League, even broke the 9 Lakes Mountain assessment record. What did Lord Aogu kill him for? He also caught the demon seed and threw it into a city. This strong man does not know whether the information sent by Yi Tian is true, but this time there is no sign of turmoil in the demon seed abyss. It is very strange, and he has not yet gone to the demon seed abyss to investigate. But there must be something wrong. Go to the ancient country to see, don't be the owner of the ancient country who is doing things. Wow, he quickly went to the ancient country. The other side. Lord Aogu will soon catch up with Yi Tian. But at this time, Yi Tian burned all the origins, even the eternal Tao fruit, and his speed skyrocketed again, which was even comparable to the speed of the ancient king. Seeing this scene, Lord Aogu frowned slightly, but he didn't believe how long Yi Tian could last. At this time, he still doesn't know about Yi Tian's message in the 9 Extremes Void, otherwise he would not be calm long ago. You know, once he is suspected by other members, he can't hide many things if he investigates carefully. Soon, Lord Aogu caught up with Yi Tian again, and directly used various secret techniques to kill Yi Tian. But at this moment, a figure came. Lord Augustus, stop. Wow, a figure intercepted Yi Tian. And at this time, the Emperor Aogu was dumbfounded. Qinhe is not the lord of the country, but he is one of the most powerful 9 eternal Tao realms in the 9 Extremes League. He cultivates the superior eternal Tao seed, and his cultivation has reached the extreme of the eternal Tao realm. And stepped out of the eternal realm in half a step. More critical speed, Qinhe claims to be the first speed in the eternal Tao realm, and it doesn't take long to cross a country. And Qinhe didn't go to kill the demon species, but ran here. Qinhe, this little guy offended me, do you want to keep him? The Lord Augustus said. As a last resort, he will not admit his own affairs. It's not that I want to keep him. Qinhe said. It's you who caught a demon seed and threw it into Luotian City, and then chased and killed Yi Tian. Yi Tian reported you, and still positioned himself at any time. I'm curious. Why are you doing this? Qinhe, don't talk nonsense about things without evidence. As for the monster, I didn't throw it in. It was the monster who broke into Luotian City by itself. As for him, as a member of the Juji League, he was the first he ran away, so I chased him down. The Lord Aogu said in nonsense. That's right, then let's go to Luotian City to have a look. Qinhe said. Upon hearing this, City Lord Aogu's face was calm, but his heart was extremely nervous. Chapter 2963 The Fall of the Ancient King. Why, Lord Augustus, you don't want to? Qinhe asked. Of course I would. The Lord of the Ancient Kingdom agreed. Immediately, Qinhe took Lord Aogu to Luotian City. On the way, Qinhe saw the monster. As soon as Qinhe stretched out his hand, the monster fell into his hand. Is this the demon seed? Qinhe asked. Yes. Yi Tian nodded. At this time, Qinhe looked at the Lord Aogu. Master Aogu, there are demons raging, but you didn't kill him, why? I was negligent for a moment. The Lord Aogu refused to admit it with a deadpan face. Soon, they came to Luotian City, but the Lord of Luotian City had disappeared. At this moment, Qinhe found the blood relatives of the city lord of Luotian, and through the power of blood, plus one of his eternal original treasures, he came to search for the city lord of Luotian. Even if there is only a remnant body left, traces can be found. Moreover, this kind of search, the ancient king can't stop it, unless the strength of the ancient king surpasses Qinhe. Certainly, Qinhe doesn't care about the death of Luotian city lord, it's just a mere eternal realm. It's just that he was very curious why the ancient king wanted to kill an ordinary eternal realm. Through blood relatives, Qinhe discovered that the source lies in the Lord Aogu. Lord Aogu, what are you doing hiding an eternal realm in your body? While speaking, Qinhe used the power of the eternal Tao seed to bless his eyes, and coupled with an eternal original treasure, his eyes instantly penetrated the body of the Aogu king. Normally, Qinhe would not be able to spy into the body of a ruler, which would be an offense to the other party. But now, the behavior of the Austrian lord is too abnormal, and he has the right to punish the Austrian lord if he even hunts down and kills the members of the Juji League. Not good. The complexion of the lord of the ancient kingdom changed drastically. But it was too late. I saw that Qinhe's eyes pierced through the body of the ancient kingdom, and peeked into the bodies of the eternal supreme Tao realm. Although these eternal supreme Tao realm have not died yet, they have already sunk. And Qinhe also sensed a ray of breath from the bodies of the eternal Tao realm. Eternal Soul Eater. Qinhe was furious. Lord Aogu, you actually practice this forbidden technique. What do you want to do? Qinhe is not stupid, he guessed several possibilities after a little deduction, one of which is the most likely. The eternal soul devouring technique is to eliminate the repulsion between oneself and the eternal Tao seed or eternal demon seed, and can control the power of other eternal Tao seeds and eternal demon seeds without causing rejection in the body. And the ancient king himself has the eternal Tao seed, why should he solve the problem of exclusion? Then, the biggest possibility is that the ancient country mainly seized other eternal Tao seeds from the eternal Tao realm to replace its own eternal Tao seed. Qinhe has heard of the method of seizing the eternal Tao seed, but this is forbidden. Once anyone does this, they will definitely be wiped out. Why did Lord Aogu dare to do this? It was because he wanted to survive, so he took the risk. Lord Aogu, you caused the turmoil in the demonic abyss, take this opportunity to capture 10,000 eternal Tao realm for you to practice Eternal Soul Eater, then capture other eternal Tao seeds, replace your own eternal Tao seeds, and solve the eternal Tao seeds question. Qinhe said coldly. The Lord Augustus knew that he could not explain it, and the matter had been exposed. He hates it, so, he rushed to Yi Tian, wanting to let Yi Tian be buried with him. However, Qinhe directly stopped the Aogu king, and with just one blow, the Aogu king's whole body collapsed. The difference in strength between each other is too great, the Aogu king is not Qinhe's opponent at all. Qinhe, let me go, I don't want to do this, but my eternal Tao seed problem is too big, and I can't reverse it. The Aogu king roared. Lord Aogu, you can completely destroy your own eternal Tao seed, and the problem will be solved. Qinhe said, ha 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 ha, destroy the eternal Tao seed, my strength is not even as good as the normal eternal Tao realm, my enemies will bypass me. Who will protect me? Qinhe, I am not you, you have a backer, even if you can't really you still don't need to worry about the demonization of the eternal Tao seed, but I can't do it. The main road of the ancient country. Lord Aogu, if everyone did this like you, it would have been messed up long ago. Qinhe shook his head and said. The Emperor Aogu still did not give up, he burned the eternal Tao seed and fled quickly. If he can escape, it doesn't matter if there is a bigger problem with the eternal Tao seed. He still has a chance to replace the Yongno Lotus seed. However, in front of Qinhe, the number one speed in the eternal Tao realm, the Aogu king was caught by Qinhe before he could even run for a moment. 0. Seeking flowers. Boom. The lord of the ancient kingdom was blasted into the depths of time and space, and was pinned down with one hand, the whole body was shattered. In a blink of an eye, the Austrian ruler was severely injured. Immediately, Qinhe left with the Lord Augustus. This time, the Emperor Aogu caused too much trouble, so naturally he couldn't just die like this. Subsequently, Qinhe came to Yi Tian's side and said, Yi Tian, you have done meritorious service this time, and there will be a batch of rewards for you in the future. I have something to leave first. You go to support other places and block those monsters. Yes, Yi Tian nodded. Shortly after, Qinhe took the Lord of the Ancient Kingdom to meet one of the top 3 beings of the 9 Extremes League who transcended eternity to the Tao realm, the Lord of all gods. The great Lord of the 10,000 gods is an existence that transcends eternity to the Tao realm, and the nation of the 10,000 gods is far beyond the ancient kingdom. Master, the Emperor Aogu has brought it. Before coming, Qinhe informed King Wanshenshin of the news. Now, the Lord of all gods stared at Qinhe, and immediately pointed at the eyebrows of the Lord Aogu. Soon, the Lord of the 10,000 gods said, "Arrest the Chaohe Taoist and Blood-Eye Taoist back." Yes, Tao. Qinhe went to the ancient country again to capture the Chaohe Road Master and the Blood-Eye Road Master. Not long after, the two eternal realms were also captured. Lord Aogu, Chaohe Taoist, and Blood-Eyes were imprisoned. After the demon-seated abyss riot was resolved, the Aogu Lord and the others would be executed publicly. Lord of the Ancient Kingdom. After Yi Tian discovered the demon seeds, he stopped them. He can only deal with some weaker monsters and kill them. And more powerhouses came here to support them, to find those monsters, and there were also powerhouses like Qinhe to deal with the top monsters. Gradually, the number of demon species decreased greatly. After instinctively aware of the threat, many species retreated to the abyss of the demon species. In this way, the turmoil in the abyss of the demon seeds returned to calm. Subsequently, the Austrian lords and the others were publicly executed in the Nine Extremes League, and they were killed directly without leaving any traces, which also made some eternal Tao realms terrified. Chapter 2964 The Ancient Kingdom Collapses. The master of the ancient kingdom with great achievements in the eternal Tao, built the ancient kingdom for endless years, such a strong man, unexpectedly fell like this. Yi Tian said with emotion. However, this is also what the Aogu kingdom asked for. However, he also understands the despair of the ancient king, but the understanding is the understanding, the ancient king really deserves to die. If I hadn't met me, I'm afraid that the master of the ancient kingdom would really succeed in his plan. Yi Tian thought to himself. It can only be said that Lord Aogu was too unlucky to meet him, and his real identity was spied on by his cloned body. Otherwise, even if he was seen by other eternal realm, without knowing his identity, he would not be able to report directly to Jujimeng. If you just report that you are hunted down by a strange eternal supreme Tao realm, you can only ask a slightly stronger eternal supreme Tao realm to take action, and it is impossible for Qinhe and other existences to come over. If 273 is like that, it will be too late, and the ancient king will not be found. Luoxia Court. Luo Wushwang and Xinghai came back, and Luotian City was fine, but Luotian City Lord died, and Aogu Kingdom Lord died. The point is that Luo Wushwang and Xinghai were stunned when the crimes committed by Lord Aogu were announced. Unexpectedly, the one who attacked Luotian City that day turned out to be the Lord Aogu, and they were almost wiped out by the Lord Aogu. Although they don't know the details, this matter must have something to do with Yi Tian. Of course, they didn't ask much. Another period of time passed, and a piece of news came that all the creatures in the ancient country would soon move to the ancient cloud country and other nearby countries. Hearing this news, Yi Tian was a little dazed. But soon, he discovered that all the major forces were relocating treasure lands and moving cities one after another, and they were completely unwilling to stay in the ancient country. He asked Luo Wushwang, Xinghai and the others, but they didn't know. They only knew that this was an order from some big figures who were still in power in the ancient country. If they didn't want to leave, they would pay the consequences themselves. 9 Poles of Void. Yi Tian and Zhu Wei met here. Brother Yi Tian is amazing, he directly brought down King Aogu. Zhu Wei said with a smile. It was Lord Aogu who chased me down, and I had no choice but to report it. Qinhe was ushered in. Only then did I know that Lord Aogu used the Devil's Abyss Riot to devour 10,000 eternities to practice the eternal devouring technique in the Tao realm, which led to he was killed. It can only be said that the Lord of the Ancient Kingdom committed his own death. Yi Tian said. Immediately, he asked again. Brother Zhu Wei, I'm a little curious, why are all the creatures from the ancient country moved to the ancient cloud country and other countries? Zhu Wei said. Brother Yi Tian probably hasn't practiced for a long time, and he hasn't seen the picture of the collapse of the eternal kingdom. Because the ancient kingdom is about to collapse, the treasure land here will become a land of death, no resources will be born, and even death energy will be born and devour the earth. Even the eternal and Taoist powerhouses will find it difficult to cultivate in such an environment, and the mythical Taoist realm will not last long. Although we can survive here, but such a harsh environment, of course we have to go. Why is this happening? Yi Tian was shocked. Zhu Wei explained. This is because the eternal kingdom is not established casually. You must obtain the eternal kingdom order before you can build an eternal kingdom. And the eternal kingdom lord obtained an eternal kingdom order at the beginning. The land of death opened up the eternal kingdom. The eternal kingdom can be passed on. If the emperor of the ancient kingdom passes this eternal kingdom to other eternal realms, then the eternal kingdom will not collapse. However, the first time he was arrested destroy the eternal decree. I see. Yi Tian understood. Immediately, Yi Tian asked again, will Luli Mountain, where Brother Zue is located, also be moved to ancient Cloud Mountain? No, we are going to relocate to the kingdom of the gods. The ancient kingdom is not suitable for the development of Luli Mountain. Taking advantage of this opportunity, it is better to go directly to the kingdom of the gods. Zue said. Yi Tian chatted with Shui He for a while before leaving. After, Yi Tian also told Xinghai and Luo Wuxuang the news of the collapse of the ancient kingdom, and they naturally wanted to relocate. Due to the long distance, they can only choose to relocate to the nearest ancient cloud country. Then, in the following years, Luo Wuxuang and Xinghai could only choose to take away the many industries of Luoxia Pavilion, the seals, and some mine veins could only forcibly dig out an area, and then slowly mine in the future. In this way, Luoxia Pavilion took some time to deal with the property, and then began to move to the ancient cloud country 0. After a period of time, the Luoxia Pavilion finally arrived at the ancient cloud kingdom, but it could only be placed here following the Luotian city on the edge of the remote country of the ancient cloud kingdom. Boom! The huge Luotian city was put down by Yi Tian, and then the major forces put down every property. In the following years, Yi Tian also helped to relocate many giant cities, mountains, and treasures in the ancient kingdom, which was also the task assigned by the Juji League. Of course, the Juji League will also give some Juji points as rewards. This day, the relocation of the ancient kingdom is almost over, and there are still many creatures who feel that nothing is happening and don't want to move, so let them do it. The edge of the ancient cloud kingdom. Yi Tian sat here, staring at the ancient kingdom. This huge country full of vitality and containing a lot of energy, under his gaze, unexpectedly collapsed bit by bit, and countless death energies emerged to deal with it, and the colorful world seemed to turn gray in an instant, losing all colors. Yi Tian stepped into this area, the energy here has been swallowed up, everything has been reduced to nothing, and the strange breath of death around him keeps pouring in, it is not suitable for cultivation at all. It's suitable for the devil species. Yi Tian secretly thought. Perhaps the devil seed abyss is a special variation of this environment, suitable for the devil seed, but many treasures were born. But there is really nothing here, let alone the birth of resource treasures. I don't know if I can build a human kingdom here in the future. Yi Tian secretly thought, but the eternal kingdom decree is definitely not easy to obtain, otherwise everyone wants to build a country and become the leader of a country. Soon, he saw some eternal and Taoist powerhouses coming from the collapsed eternal kingdom, wanting to enter the ancient cloud kingdom. Obviously, they really believed it now, and they dared not stay in the ancient kingdom anymore. Certainly, most of the creatures in the ancient kingdom entered the ancient cloud kingdom, which naturally aroused the dissatisfaction of many forces in the ancient cloud kingdom, which is tantamount to squeezing their resources. Therefore, there will certainly be no less conflicts in the future. Chapter 2965 9 Extreme Union Internal Trade Fair. Yi Tian is a member of the Nine Pole Alliance, and it doesn't matter which country he stays in. He still stays in Luoxia Pavilion, and occasionally goes to the Demon Seed Abyss to find resources, and then exchange them for resources that will help him refine his eternal body. As the years passed, his eternal Tao body naturally gradually improved. However, what he has cultivated is the eternal Tao seed. It is naturally very difficult to complete the eternal Tao body, but the advantage is safety, there is no risk of turning into a demon seed, and the strength of the increase is stronger, of course he is extremely satisfied. This day, the Juji League sent a reward, which was the reward he got for helping to expose the ancient king. Of course, these rewards are not rewards paid by the Nine Extremes League, but taken from the treasure house of the ancient king. King Aogu was executed, and his resource treasury belonged to the Nine Extremes League, and part of it was used as a reward, and the Nine Extremes League still made money. There are really a lot of treasures. Yi Tian said happily. All kinds of precious resources, even dozens of resources that are useful for the body of eternal Tao, also have 6 pieces of eternal supreme Tao divine weapon, and 3 pieces of eternal original treasure. Compared to the real treasure trove of Lord Aogu, this item 07 is definitely the tip of the iceberg, but the Juji men can give me so much, which is already very good. Yi Tian sorted out these treasures, and also studied the 3 eternal original treasures. But for a while, there was no research to understand it, so I still asked the internal members of the Juji League to appraise it. Among the Juji League, There must be eternal original treasures with identification effects, and that kind of eternal original treasures can identify other eternal original treasures. And Yi Tian's appraisal the level is too low, it is only the innate original treasure, and cannot identify the eternal treasure. Soon, the identification of the 3 eternal original treasures was completed. Open black lens bracket ghost armor, eternal original treasure, can enhance defense, and can speed up 1/10 of the speed of eternal Dao body transformation close black lens bracket. Shadow God statue, eternal original treasure, can improve comprehension and speed up cultivation. Yuan explosion Dao bead can be activated by the eternal Dao seed to explode extremely strong combat power. The defect is that it will lose the eternal Dao seed and expand the defect of the eternal Dao seed. Close black lens bracket. These 3 eternal original treasures should be selected by the 9th level alliance, and they are not of much value. However, this Yuan explosive Dao bead is very helpful to me. I am not afraid of damaging the eternal Dao seed. Yi Tian secretly said. In short, he is still very excited about this reward. Before you know it, tens of millions of eternal to Dao era years have passed. During this period of time, many fights broke out between the eternal to Dao realm in the Gaian kingdom, many eternal to Dao realm fell, and even more eternal to Dao powerhouses fell. However, under the protection of Yi Tian, Luoxia Pavilion naturally had no problems, and on the contrary, it has grown a lot. Many mythological and eternal Daoists have joined Luoxia Pavilion. The eternal Dao has become a body, because it has become a realm. Yi Tian murmured, according to this speed, he will be able to completely complete the eternal Dao body in a short time. At that time, his strength will definitely skyrocket. This day, the internal trade fair of the Juji League is about to start, and the notice has been given in advance. There should be a lot of good things to be traded at the Juji League's internal trade fair. It is said that high-level officials like Qin He will bring out some treasures for auction. We need to collect some Juji points. Then, Yi Tian entered the abyss of demon seeds again. This time, he condensed multiple cloned bodies, frantically collected resources in the demon seed abyss, and brought Yuanbang Dao orb with him. Demon seed abyss. Deeper. After a period of time, Yi Tian finally found a place that bred many resources. However, he also encountered a very powerful demon seed. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Yi Tian fought against this demon, and his strength was completely crushed. At this time, he activated the Yuanbang Dao orb, and the perfect level eternal Dao seed made the effect of the Yuanbang Dao orb explode to the extreme. Boom! A streak of golden lines appeared on Yi Tian's body, and his aura also soared crazily. Gradually, he was able to completely contend against this demon. Boom! Yi Tian fought against this monster again and again, while another duplicate body took the opportunity to hurry and took away the resources and treasures here. After, Yi Tian left here, did not try to kill this demon seed, no matter how much he exploded, he still couldn't kill this demon seed. Time flies. Yi Tian gradually gathered a lot of resources in the demon seed abyss, but also lost a lot of duplicate bodies. This day, before the 9 Extremes Union's internal trade fair started, Yi Tian's duplicate body rushed back and traded most of the resources in exchange for a large amount of 9 Extremes points. 360,000 points, the amount is not bad. It may not be as good as the top of the Juji League, the Eternal Realm, but it is also very good. If you encounter a suitable treasure, you can take the opportunity to compete for it. Quote, Yi Tian murmured. Soon after, the internal trade fair of the Juji League has begun, and the location is located in the Kingdom of the Gods. Since it involves physical transactions, every Eternal Supreme Dao Realm who wanted to participate in the auction rushed to the Kingdom of the Gods. If you don't want to participate in the auction, you can participate virtually in Juji Void, just watch, not participate. Kingdom of the Gods. Yi Tian traveled through one country after another, and finally arrived here, the capital of the Kingdom of the Gods. Those who came to participate in the 9 Pole Union's Internal Trade Fair 763 were all members of the 9 Pole League, and the powerhouses of other external forces were not qualified to participate in such a trade fair. Here, he met Zue. It was also the first time for many members to meet in reality. Trading venue. A statue of Eternal Supreme Dao Realm arrived, and they were all looking forward to the start of the fair. The first part of the trade fair is to trade with each other, and the second part is the auction. Certainly, trading with each other, the price is easy to negotiate, it is better to trade in Juji Void. As for the really good things, I still hope to sell them at auctions, so that they can be sold at a high price if there are more Eternity and Dao realms in the auction. In private transactions, it is difficult to sell at a high price. This is also one of the reasons why you can't buy good things at ordinary times. I saw a person named Eternal to Daojing constantly communicating, but there were very few transactions. After a period of time, the first link is over, and we come to the second link, the auction link. At this time, the auctioneer designated by the Jujimeng came to the stage and started the auction process. I saw the first auction item was taken out, which attracted a lot of eyes from Eternal Realm. The first auction item, Eternal Cloud Liquid, can reduce the probability of demonizing the Eternal Dao Seed, and it has an effect on all Dao Seeds. The starting price is 2000 Juji points. Chapter 2966 Eternal Dao Boundary Stone. The Eternal Cloud Liquid is useful for all Eternal Dao realms, and can alleviate the problem of Eternal Dao Seeds. Therefore, many Eternal realms are involved in the robbing. Certainly, those who have taken the Eternal Cloud Liquid many times will not participate in the auction. After all, this thing will not help them much. They have already developed drug resistance and cannot use the Eternal Cloud Liquid to alleviate the Eternal Dao Seed problem. Yi Tian couldn't even bid anymore, it's useless for him to want this thing. After a while, Eternal Cloud Liquid was auctioned away by an Eternal Daoist at a high price of 5,209 poles. Next, there will be a few resource treasure auctions that help solve the problem of the Eternal Dao Seed, and the grades are getting higher and higher. After auctioning more than a dozen of these resources in a row, it was finally considered a treasure. The next auction is the Eternal Dragon Marrow, which is extracted from a natural Dao creature called the Eternal Dragon. It is very suitable for improving the cultivation of eternity to the Dao realm. Currently, 10 drops are being auctioned, and the starting price is 3000 Juji points. Said the auctioneer. The Eternal Dragon Marrow helps to improve the cultivation level of eternity to the Dao realm. The price is so expensive, it must be a good thing. I am worried about improving my cultivation level so quickly. I must bid for it. Then, Yi Tian began to participate in the auction. Those who really need the Eternal Dragon Marrow are those whose cultivation base has not been raised to the peak of the Eternal Supreme Dao realm, and this kind of Eternal Supreme Dao realm, there is a high probability that the body of the Eternal Dao realm has not even been completed. The strength is very weak, so there are not many Juji points. Of course, there are also a few top-notch Eternal Realm bids for their descendants, but it is impossible to pay too high a price. Therefore, Yi Tian is naturally sure to win it with a not too high bidding price. 3500 Juji points. 4000 Juji points. 4500 Juji points. After a fierce competition, Yi Tian successfully won the 10 drops of Eternal Dragon Marrow with 5600 Juji points. After, some resources that helped to improve cultivation appeared one after another, and Yi Tian tried to get them as much as possible, and finally spent more than 30,000 Juji points to buy several kinds of resource treasures. With these resources, it must be easy for him to raise his cultivation base to the late stage of the Eternal Dao realm, but it may not be enough to upgrade to the peak of the Eternal Dao realm. The next auction is an Eternal Original Treasure, Heart Empty Lock. This Eternal Original Treasure can lock two creatures together. Once one party is in danger, the other party can be instantly rescued. Of course, it can also be used as the best life-saving thing for escape. At present, only a few Eternal Original Treasures can plan to teleport. Hearing this special Eternal Original Treasure, many Eternal Realms became interested. Yi Tian is also interested, but the starting price of this Eternal Original Treasure is too expensive, a full 10,000 to 90,000 points. If you want to make a deal, you can't get it without 30,000 to 49,000 to 90,000 points. And it's useless for him to bid now, his wife and children are all staying in the imaginary domain, unless they come here to wander here in the future. Later, maybe at that time, he will be able to obtain many such Eternal Original Treasures. Therefore, he did not participate in the bidding. In the end, this Eternal Original Treasure Heart Empty Lock was auctioned off by an Eternal Supreme Daoist with 36,000 ultimate points. Soon, there will be resources that can speed up the refining of the Eternal Body, and they are not ordinary resources, otherwise there is no need to send them to the auction. The next item to be auctioned is Wan Dao Golden Grass, which is helpful to improve the body of the Eternal Dao, and the effect is excellent. It is not limited to the degree of the body of the Eternal Dao. Even if it reaches 99% of the body of the Eternal Dao, it still has the effect. The starting price is 15,000 Juji points, start bidding now. As soon as the words fell, many Eternal Realms began to bid. Yi Tian also hurriedly participated in the auction. This kind of treasure is very rare, and the effect is very fast, which can help him refine and improve the eternal Tao body faster. Therefore, he had to bid for it. Due to the fierce competition, until the 70,009 extreme points, there are still several eternal realms competing with Yi Tian. However, when Yi Tian reported 85,000 points, they chose to give up, because this has exceeded their expected price. In this way, Wandao Golden Grass was taken by Yi Tian. Afterwards, Yi Tian bid for a resource that is even more important than the Wandao Golden Grass, 9-leaf withered vine, which can also help temper and improve the eternal Tao body, which cost him 10 Wuji points just took it. As a result, Yi Tian has now spent more than 190,000 Juji points, and the Juji points on him are running out. From now on, I can't bid casually unless it is a treasure that really makes my heart beat. Yi Tian secretly thought. As time passed, one auctioned item was auctioned, and every time, Yi Tian held back. After all, these auction treasures were useful to him, and he wanted to bid, but unfortunately, he didn't have enough Juji points. At this moment, he felt that he was still poor. The next auction is an Eternal Tao Boundary Stone. You can use the Eternal Tao Boundary Stone to travel to the Eternal Tao realm. There is a chance to get the Eternal Kingdom Edict. The starting price is 50,009 points, said the auctioneer. Eternal Tao Boundary Stone, Eternal National Decree. Only in this way did Yi Tian know where the Eternal Kingdom Edict came from. It turned out to be the Eternal Tao Realm. At this time, there was Eternal Tao Realm saying, the Eternal Tao Boundary Stone is indeed very good, but the chance of obtaining the Eternal Kingdom Edict is too small. Ha ha ha, indeed, the chance of obtaining the Eternal Edict is indeed very small, but the chance of securing capital is still very high. Preservation, if only the capital is guaranteed, why should I take risks in the Eternal Tao realm? It's more dangerous than Qian Nuo out there. Only huge profits are worth the risk. During the discussion of many Eternal Tao realms, the auction has already started. One after another Eternal Supreme Realm participated in the auction. They still want to give it a go. What if they get the Eternal Kingdom order? Even if you don't want to open up the Eternal Kingdom and sell it to other top Eternal Realms, you can still exchange for a lot of Juji points and resources. At this time, Yi Tian also participated in the auction, and he still has 179,000 points left, so he still hopes to bid for the Eternal Tao Boundary Stone. After some fierce bidding, the bidding price rose to 159,000 points. At this time, there are very few Eternal Supreme Tao Realms for bidding. When Yi Tian quoted 179,000 points, there was no Eternal Realm to continue quoting. After finalizing, Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief. The Eternal Tao Boundary Stone belongs to him. Chapter 2967 Enter the Eternal Realm. The next auction item has nothing to do with me. Yi Tian secretly thought. After all, he doesn't have many Juji points on him now, and he is not even eligible to bid for the most common auction items, let alone the treasures behind are getting more and more expensive. Certainly, he was also very satisfied with this auction and got what he wanted. Soon, pieces of treasures were being auctioned off, and Tushin could only watch the show. And the price of the treasures auctioned later has reached 1 million Juji points. Most of the Eternal Tao realms of the Juji League can't afford to bid, and only a few of the top Eternal Tao realms are still participating in the auction. The next auction item is the Eternal Ancient Diamond, which has a great effect on the impact of the Shaocheng Eternal Tao body on the Dacheng Eternal Tao body. The side effect is that it will deepen the problem of the Eternal Tao seed, said the auctioneer. Although there are some problems with the Eternal Ancient Diamond, for many Eternal Realms, this problem is nothing. If it can make their strength skyrocket, they will naturally be willing to refine such treasure resources. For them, only with strong strength can they hope to obtain more good things, to obtain more opportunities, and to hope to surpass the Eternal Realm in the future. As for the issue of the Eternal Tao seed, they don't worry about it at all now. The starting price of the Eternal Ancient Diamond is 809,150 points, and the transaction price is likely to exceed 2 million points. Really, after some fierce bidding, it was finally auctioned off by a top Eternal Realm with a high price of 2.2 million Juji points. And the finale item of this auction also surprised Yi Tian. The original treasure of eternity, fixed seed beads, can hold the Eternal Tao seed for 1 But after the auction is successful, it can still be sold after 10 billion to the Tao era without losing money. Quote. Of course, during the 10,000 billion years to the Tao era, you must not use any more power of the eternal Tao seed, otherwise the fixed seed beads will fail, and you will not be able to continue to fix your eternal Tao seed. Special seed beads, the starting price is 10 million Juji points. As soon as this finale item came out, those top eternal to Tao era moved their hearts. After all, bidding for this treasure is tantamount to investment, and it can continue to be sold in the future, and it may even be sold at a higher price. Of course, the prerequisite for bidding is that you have more than 10 million Juji points. Therefore, many eternal realms can only watch those top eternal realms participate in the auction, but they are not qualified to participate. 12 million Juji points, 15 million Juji points, 20 million Juji points. These peak eternity to Tao realm don't care about these 9 extreme points at all, and the wealth is scary. In the end, it was auctioned by a top eternal realm with a terrifying price of 35 million Juji points. Just like that, all the auctioned items were sold out, and Yi Tian went to pay Juji points and took away the items he had bid on. After coming out of the trading venue, Yi Tian returned to the ancient Cloud Kingdom, and did not stay long in the 10,000 Gods Kingdom. After coming back, Yi Tian began to cultivate. He was not in a hurry to go to the eternal Tao realm. After his strength improved, it would not be too late to go to the eternal Tao realm. Anyway, the things are in his hands, he can use them anytime, there is no need to go now. First, use resources such as eternal dragon marrow to improve your cultivation. Yi Tian took out a drop of eternal dragon marrow and began to practice. Boom! His cultivation was improving at a speed visible to the naked eye. With the consumption of drops of eternal dragon marrow and various precious resources, Yi Tian's cultivation finally broke through to the late stage of the eternal Supreme Tao realm after several million Supreme Tao eras. The cultivation base has finally broken through, and the strength has improved a lot, but it is still far from the peak of eternity to the Taoist realm. You have to take your time. The current resources are definitely not enough. Yi Tian secretly thought. Subsequently, he took out 10,000 golden grasses and 9 AHCJ leaf vines to temper and improve his eternal Tao body. These 2 treasures are indeed extremely precious, and the effect is really good. As he continued to refine the eternal Tao body, his eternal Tao body was rapidly improving. Before he knew it, Ji Wusui used the eternal lane of Shengqin City again. And these 2 treasures are completely exhausted, and his eternal Tao body has also been promoted to 80% of the realm. Things are really good, but unfortunately there are too few. Yi Tian murmured. If he finds a few more treasures like this, he is sure to completely complete the eternal Tao body, and by that time, his strength will be terribly improved. But in a short period of time, it was difficult for him to let his strength skyrocket. Although the Devil Seed Abyss has some resources to improve the eternal Tao body, they are all low-end and don't help me much. Maybe it's time to go to the eternal Tao realm. Yi Tian secretly thought. The eternal Tao realm not only has the eternal national decree, but also other resources, although there are not many, but if you are lucky, you can still get a big harvest. Certainly, there are also dangers in the eternal Tao realm. He has collected a lot of information about the eternal Tao realm in the Juji League, and he also knows that many eternal Tao realms have fallen in the eternal Tao realm. Most of them survived, but they all lost money. Only a few did not lose money. The reason for losing money is that you can't stay in the eternal Tao realm forever. If you can't find treasures worth more than 100,000 Juji points within the given time, then you are losing money. 1 million Supreme Tao era, 1 eternal Tao boundary stone can only make other eternal Tao realms stay for so long. Yi Tian secretly thought, if it exceeds 1 million Supreme Tao era, the eternal Tao boundary stone will be shattered, and the eternal Tao boundary will cause the problem of the eternal Tao seed to continue to expand. No one dares to stay in the eternal Tao boundary actively. If he stays forcibly, the problem of the eternal Tao seed will expand, and he will become a demon seed, and that will be a loss. Therefore, at the time of 1 million Tao era, no matter who it is, they will come out immediately, and they dare not stay for a minute longer. The perfect level eternal Tao seed that I have cultivated, maybe I can stay in the eternal Tao world forever. Yi Tian guessed. After he was about to enter the eternal Tao realm, he condensed a duplicate body and tried it out. If this is the case, then he can stay in the eternal realm forever. Immediately, he took out the eternal Tao boundary stone and activated this treasure. Buzz! The eternal Tao boundary stone emitted a gray light, enveloping Yi Tian. In an instant, his body left here, and in an instant came to the eternal realm. We've reached the eternal realm. Yi Tian looked around and saw that there was no danger, so he began to condense the second duplicate body. Chapter 2968 Eternal Magic Crystal. Soon, the second duplicate body condensed out. At this time, he found that a strange breath seemed to be drilling into his eternal Tao seed. And the other duplicate body has the eternal Tao boundary stone, so this doesn't happen. However, no matter how many strange forces invaded, he just felt a little uncomfortable, but the eternal Tao seed did not have any problems. Sure enough, the eternal Tao realm will only expand the problem of the eternal Tao seed under the perfect eternal Tao seed, and my perfect eternal Tao seed itself has no problems or defects. No matter how it is expanded, it is still zero. Yi Tian secretly thought. So, he can stay here for a long time, and he doesn't need to rush out of the eternal Tao realm. And with enough strength, he can almost 100% find the eternal kingdom edict, and thus open up the eternal kingdom. Certainly, even if he finds the eternal kingdom decree, he will not open up the eternal kingdom immediately. He must wait until his own strength is strong enough to open it up. Otherwise, if the strength is not enough, the eternal kingdom will be reduced to the territory of other forces, and it will be embarrassing. Of course, there are definitely benefits to opening up the eternal kingdom by himself, but he still doesn't know the specific benefits, and he can only know it after he opens it up. Subsequently, Yi Tian condensed several duplicate bodies, let these duplicate bodies spread out, and searched for resources and treasures. There are no too precious resources, most of the resources are very low grade and worthless. During Yi Tian's search, he thought to himself, but it's normal, if you can find precious treasures casually, then there won't be so many eternal Tao realm losses. Suddenly, a strange force condensed into a huge phantom in human form, exuding a terrifying and strange aura, a bit similar to the power of a demon. There are indeed demon species in the eternal Tao realm, all of which forcibly entered the eternal Tao realm in the past and did not persist in the eternal Tao realm, but the number is very rare. And this human-shaped phantom is naturally not a demon, but an eternal demon. The strength of the eternal demon spirit is not very strong, but once it is injured by the eternal demon spirit, the problem of the eternal Tao seed will be exacerbated. Therefore, when the eternal realm sees the eternal demon spirit, they will avoid it, and do not want to fight with it, otherwise it will be themselves who will suffer. Yi Tian was not afraid of the eternal demon spirit. When he saw the eternal demon spirit attacking him, he shot directly. Boom! Yi Tian held a spear of the eternal divine soldiers, and cast the secret technique of the eternal Tao, the spear of the sun, and blessed it on the spear of the eternal divine soldiers, unleashing a very strong attack. Moreover, a series of eternal Tao seed secret techniques are also displayed without hiding their strength at all. But, the attack of this eternal demon spirit is also very strange, a seemingly random blow, bombarded on Yi Tian's indestructible sun, actually penetrated the indestructible sun, and acted on Yi Tian's body, invisible affected the eternal Tao seed, and even caused a little bit of damage. But it was only a little injury, and did not hurt the eternal Tao seed. It's no wonder that those who enter the eternal Tao realm from the eternal Tao realm dare not fight with these eternal demon spirits. Yi Tian murmured. Since the strength of this eternal demon spirit was not too strong, it was gradually injured by Yi Tian. After a long time, the eternal demon was killed by Yi Tian. Just after the eternal demon spirit fell, a white crystal condensed from the energy on its body fell down and was caught by Yi Tian. What is this? Yi Tian was puzzled. The information he knows does not involve this thing. Perhaps it is very rare that the eternal Tao realm will kill the eternal demon spirit. After all, if it is injured, it will be a big loss. Therefore, even if the strength is strong, they will choose to open up directly. As a result, they didn't know that killing the eternal demon spirit could still obtain this kind of thing. Maybe you can ask, Yi Tian secretly thought. Then, he consulted in the 9 Extremes League, and there was indeed an eternal realm who knew it and told him. Open black lens bracket eternal magic crystal close black lens bracket. Moreover, the role of the eternal magic crystal was also informed. In the eyes of that eternal supreme Tao realm, the eternal magic crystal is a very tasteless thing with little value. The eternal magic crystal can increase the progress of the eternal Tao body, and is even useful for more than 99% of the eternal Tao body. 0 Seeking flowers 0. However, if the eternal magic crystal is refined, the problem of the eternal Tao seed will also expand, and the consequences will be very serious. For example, if the aftereffect of some auction items in the auction is 1, then the aftereffect of the eternal magic crystal is 100 or even 1000. Although the benefits are not small, the consequences are too serious. Who dares to refine the eternal magic crystal? There was once a person in the eternal Tao realm who was in the process of transforming into the eternal Tao body. He was not afraid of death. He bought the eternal magic crystal. As a result, he had just completed the eternal Tao body transformation, and cultivated the eternal Tao body to the entry level, and soon transformed into a demon seed. Up. Since then, no eternal Tao realm dared to refine the eternal magic crystal, unless it was the existence of the perfect eternal first kind. But it is impossible to publicly collect eternal magic crystals if you have a strong person in the perfect level eternal way. Once you buy too many, but do not transform them into magic seeds, you will definitely be suspected of being a perfect level eternal way seed. 0. So, after Yi Tian knew this information, he would not collect the eternal magic crystal, but prepared to kill the eternal demon spirit himself in order to obtain the eternal magic crystal. Try the effect. Yi Tian refined the eternal magic crystal on the spot, and waves of energy poured into his body, improving his eternal Tao body transformation progress. The effect is quite good. Yi Tian was pleasantly surprised. In this way, with enough eternal magic crystals, he can easily raise the eternal Tao body to 100% realm, and truly complete the eternal Tao body. Get more eternal magic crystals. Even if I have enough in the future, my relatives still need eternal magic crystals. Yi Tian secretly thought. So in the following days, Yi Tian took the initiative to look for the eternal demon spirit. When other people encounter the eternal demon spirit, they avoid it, but Yi Tian takes the initiative to look for it. If other eternal realms know about it, they will be dumbfounded. Time flies, and gradually, hundreds of thousands of years have passed since the Tao era. Ha ha ha, very good, I have collected more than 100 pieces of eternal goods. Yi Tian said excitedly. In fact, he encountered many eternal demon spirits, but unfortunately they were not strong enough. Some eternal demon spirits were too powerful, and he was killed by these eternal demon spirits. Therefore, he could only collect slowly, and only collected more than 100 pieces of eternal magic crystal scarves. Chapter 2969 Eternal National Decree, find it. Subsequently, one of Yi Tian's duplicated bodies went out, brought these eternal magic crystals and some resources back to the outside world, and returned to the ancient Cloud Kingdom. It is very easy to go out from the eternal Tao realm, you can tear the boundary wall easily, but it is too difficult to get in, and you can only get in with the help of the eternal Tao boundary stone. Use these eternal magic crystals to complete the eternal Tao body. Yi Tian began to practice in closed doors, refining one eternal magic crystal after another. Gradually, Yi Tian's eternal Tao body progressed higher and higher. Millions of Tao era years passed. This day, Yi Tian finally raised the eternal Tao body to 99% realm, and is about to completely complete the eternal Tao body. Some time passed. Boom. The eternal Tao body was completely completed, and his body began to, June 17th, to truly transform into a perfect eternal Tao body, and his aura became extremely powerful. Finally completed the eternal Tao body, and now my perfect level eternal Tao body is just getting started, but its strength is several times stronger than before. Yi Tian secretly said. In addition, in the millions of years of the Tao era, he has also collected more eternal magic crystals, and found many good things. The amount of resources has far exceeded hundreds of thousands of Juji points, even more than 1 million Juji points up. However, he still hasn't found the eternal edict. I've copied so many bodies and searched for so long, but I haven't found the eternal edict. It really depends on luck. Yi Tian thought. But he can stay in the eternal Tao realm all the time, and he is very patient. He doesn't believe that he can't find the eternal edict. In addition, his eternal Tao boundary stone had been shattered long ago, but it didn't affect him. He doesn't need to enter the eternal Tao realm again, as long as the duplicate bodies of the eternal Tao realm don't fall at the same time. In this way, another few million years of the Supreme Tao era have passed. Yi Tian let a copy body go out with these resources, and took out some resource treasures that can help the eternal Tao body to exchange for treasures that can help improve resources. Immediately, many members of the Nine-Pole Alliance were willing to exchange with him. Coupled with the resources he usually found by himself, after continuous refining, his cultivation base is also progressing step by step towards the peak of eternity in Tao realm. According to his current progress rate, at most another 10 million years of the Supreme Tao era, he will be able to break through to the peak of the eternal Supreme Tao realm. Eternal realm. This day, a duplicate body of Yi Tian is fighting with a frightening eternal demon spirit. This eternal demon spirit is very powerful. If the eternal Tao body is not completed, he is definitely not an opponent. But now, he has already crushed the opponent with strength. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Yi Tian fought with him, the battle fluctuated and passed around. One area after another was shattered, and a mountain peak in the far distance also exploded, turning into countless fragments. And in one of the fragments, a token attracted Yi Tian's attention, and even caused him to make a mistake and was hit by the eternal demon, but he didn't care. That's the eternal order. Yi Tian was excited. He had been searching for the eternal edict for so long, but he never expected to find it during the battle. Got to fix it fast. Yi Tian fought desperately, and quickly dealt with this eternal demon spirit. Immediately, he came to the Eternal Kingdom order and grabbed it. It is indeed the Eternal National Decree, exactly the same as that recorded in the Juji League. Yi Tian said excitedly. With it, he can open up an Eternal Kingdom and serve as the king of the Eternal Kingdom. Immediately, this duplicate body of Yi Tian went out with this Eternal Kingdom edict. Only by taking it out can it really belong to him. Inside Luoxia Pavilion, Yi Tian began to study the Eternal National Decree. He first refined this Eternal National Decree and recognized it as the master. With the passage of time, this Eternal National Decree was gradually refined by him and completely belonged to him. At this moment, only then did Yi Tian know why the Eternal Kingdom order could open up an Eternal Kingdom, and he even knew the secret of the Eternal Kingdom. The Eternal State Decree can actually mobilize the original power of the Eternal State Boundary, and the Eternal State Boundary is where he is now, and it is a heaven and earth composed of countless eternal states. Dispel the death zone with the origin of the Eternal State Boundary, and open up an Eternal State. And after opening up the Eternal Kingdom, he will become the ruler of the Eternal Kingdom, and he can use the Eternal Kingdom to speed up his cultivation. If he can completely control the Eternal Kingdom, he can even use the Eternal Kingdom to comprehend the origin of the Eternal Kingdom, which is expected to hit a higher level. As for how to completely control the Eternal Kingdom, it doesn't mean that it needs to be opened up. Like the ancient king, he didn't completely control the ancient country at the beginning, he was just equivalent to the executor, and he was the lowest level king. Only the king who controls the country is a high-level king. And if you want to completely control the Eternal Kingdom, you need to grow the Eternal Kingdom step by step, and your own strength needs to reach the limit of the real Eternal to Tao realm, and then thoroughly refine the Eternal Kingdom token, and understand the origin of the Eternal Kingdom deep in the Eternal Kingdom token. Only in this way can we truly control the Eternal Kingdom. If King Aogu had done it back then, he would even have a glimmer of hope to surpass the Eternal Realm, but it is obviously too difficult to achieve this step, and King Aogu gave up. It's difficult to completely control the Eternal Kingdom, so don't even think about it for the time being. The next step is to raise your cultivation base to the peak of eternity in Taoism. Yi Tian thought to himself. Therefore, in the following years of the Supreme Tao era, he used various resources to improve his cultivation, and his cultivation also increased rapidly. Finally this day, his cultivation has finally reached the peak of the Eternal Tao realm. Finally broke through. Yi Tian was quite excited. From Eternity to Tao Realm Peak 5.0, he can no longer continue to improve his cultivation base, but the Eternal Tao body can still continue to improve. My current Eternal Tao body has just started, and it is extremely difficult to continue to improve. I need to collect more resources that can help improve the Eternal Tao body. I found some in the Eternal Tao realm, but the amount is not enough. Next, how many resources of this kind should we have in the Eternal Tao realm? Yi Tian secretly thought. In the following years, his energy was still focused on the Eternal Tao realm. The Eternal Magic Crystal and all kinds of resources are his goals. Of course, it would be great if we could find a second Eternal Edict. But it's a pity that he found an Eternal National Token is already a burst of luck, and if he wants to find another Eternal National Token, he doesn't know how long it will be. Chapter 2970 Teaching the Perfect Eternal Tao Seed. Long years passed. Eternal Realm. Yi Tian has collected a large amount of eternal magic crystals and various resources. This day, Yi Tian took these resources out, and prepared to bring them back to the void domain by the way. His wife and children have all cultivated to the late stage of Eternal to Tao, and they are only one step away from Eternal to Tao. After he went back this time, he naturally trained them to the Eternal Supreme Tao realm, and then gave them a large number of high-quality Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao rule items, allowing them to comprehend the Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao rule items to the perfect state. After that, they can cultivate the perfect Tao seed, and thus transform into an Eternal Tao body. The ruins of the ancient kingdom. This is a death zone. Yi Tian stepped here again. After all, the entrance to the imaginary domain is here. Wow! Yi Tian passed through the entrance of the imaginary domain and stepped into the mythical valley. That mythical spirit saw Yi Tian, but didn't attack again. It was already scared by 07 Yi Tian. Wow! Yi Tian came directly from the Valley of Myths, no need to wait for a specific time. After all, with his current strength, the danger of Myth Valley is nothing at all. He can enter and exit the Myth Valley at any time without any influence. Subsequently, he went straight to the human domain. Soon, he returned to the human domain. Human race temple, and Myris domain. Yi Tian gathered his wife and children here. These resources are for you. Yi Tian took out a bunch of resources, among which were high-quality items of the Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao Rule. In the imaginary domain, this kind of treasure is extremely rare, but in the Juji League, it is not so rare. He doesn't bother to synthesize it now, and buys it directly. After all, he has earned too much from the Eternal Tao realm, and he doesn't lack Juji points. So in a short period of time, he bought a bunch of high-quality Eternal Sequence Supreme Law items, enough for them to comprehend the Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao Rule to a perfect state. In order to allow them to comprehend the rules of the Eternal Sequence to perfection faster, Yi Tian also traded an Eternal Original Treasure with the help of the Jujimeng. This Eternal Original Treasure is to assist in comprehending the rules of the Eternal Sequence. Very big. For one side, this kind of Eternal Original Treasure is very important, so the price is much higher than ordinary Eternal Original Treasure. Yi Tian spent a full 200,000 Juji points to win it. It is simply not willing to change it to other eternal realms. Afterwards, he sent this Eternal Original Treasure to Void Domain, and he was the first to let his wife Xiaoyu come to comprehend the rules of the Eternal Sequence. Years go by and time flies. With the help of this Eternal Original Treasure and pieces of Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao Rule items, her own Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao Rule has rapidly improved, and after just 30 million Supreme Tao Era years, she has successfully comprehended the Eternal Sequence to the rule of Tao to a perfect state. At this time, Yi Tian passed the perfect Tao seed to Xiaoyu. Yuaa, this is the cultivation method of the perfect Tao seed. The perfect Tao seed is very important, it must not be leaked out, and no one can tell it. Yi Tian talked about the preciousness of the perfect Tao species and the fate of countless eternal Tao realms in the Eternal Kingdom. Xiaoyu also knew the seriousness and nodded. Exclamation mark. Xiaoyu soon inherited the perfect Tao seed, and then began to practice the perfect Tao seed. Under Yi Tian's guidance, she easily cultivated into a perfect Taoist. When Yi Tian saw Xiaoyu's body began to slightly transform into the eternal Tao body, he knew that Xiaoyu had already cultivated into the perfect level eternal Tao seed. Then, Yi Tian took out a lot of eternal magic crystals. Yuaa, this is eternal magic crystal. It is poison to other eternal Tao realms, but for us who have the perfect eternal Tao seed, it is eternity, the supreme treasure of Taoism. Xiaoyu took over these eternal magic crystals, and began to practice hard to improve the eternal body. And she also occasionally creates Tao seed secrets, but she didn't copy her body, and she didn't dare to move the sun disk, so she couldn't create Tao seeds quickly. Taoist secret technique. With the help of the eternal magic crystal, Xiaoyu's eternal Tao body progressed too fast. And not long after, Yi Xingchen and Yi Xingyu also mastered the rules of the eternal sequence of the perfect state, and were also given the perfect level of eternal Tao inheritance by Yi Tian, and reminded them not to pass it on, and also explained the situation. They also agreed and would never say anything about it. Even if some of their descendants have reached the level of eternal Tao realm in the future, if their character is good, they can be bestowed with the inheritance of the perfect eternal Tao seed. Of course, the less you know, the safer you are. But Yi Tian is also clear now that the inheritance of the eternal Tao seed cannot be passed on forever, there is a limit on the number of times. Today, the perfect level eternal Tao seed of the Ruined Sun Tao seed has been passed down 4 times, and he clearly feels that the Tao Sun Ruins Tao seed can only be passed on a few more times before it can continue to be passed on. This is not allowed by heaven and earth. For this situation, he had expected it. If it is true that it can be passed on all the time, then if there are really strong people with good intentions, and they have surpassed the eternal supreme Tao realm, and intentionally spread it in large quantities, wouldn't they all be able to obtain the perfect eternal Tao seed? But in fact, this situation does not exist. After being passed on many times, it will disappear forever and cannot be spread again. Only the inferior eternal Tao seed, elementary eternal Tao seed, medium eternal Tao seed and high eternal Tao seed have no limit of 853 times. No, maybe the high-level eternal Tao seed also has a limit on the number of times, but the number of times is far beyond the perfect eternal Tao seed. It seems that the perfect level eternal Tao seed cannot be passed on casually, and it must be kept well. Yi Tian secretly thought. Soon after, Yi Xingchen and Yi Xingyu have cultivated into perfect level eternal Tao seeds one after another, and Yi Tian also gave them a large amount of eternal magic crystals to help them complete the eternal Tao body. After, Yi Tian didn't care about them and let them practice by themselves. His current goal is to raise his eternal Tao body to the realm of Shaochang. Once he reaches the realm of Shaochang, his strength will definitely not be weaker than that of the ancient king. After all, King Aogu only has an eternal Tao body that has reached the realm of Dachang, but King Aogu's eternal Tao seed is only a medium-level eternal Tao seed, and has a big problem, while his is a perfect-level eternal Tao seed, which has 18 superimposed mythological supernatural powers. A strong body with an extremely solid and powerful foundation. Taken together, it is naturally comparable to the fighting power of the ancient king. However, there are still few resources in the eternal Tao realm that can help improve the perfect eternal Tao body. Relying on the resources of the eternal Tao realm, it will undoubtedly take a long time to upgrade the perfect eternal Tao body to the Shaochang realm. Got to find a way to get better resources. Yi Tian murmured. Chapter 2971 Eternal Tao Body Great Achievement. Yi Tian was asking everywhere, where he could find treasure resources that would help him improve his eternal Tao body quickly. Certainly, even if many eternal Tao realm powerhouses know, they won't tell you. Unless it is the kind of place where it is not easy to obtain resources and is extremely dangerous, there is hope to find out. This day, Yi Tian inquired about such a place. Open black lens bracket Valley of Death close black lens bracket. This is a place in the dead zone. There are almost no resources in the death zone, but nothing is absolute, and the Death Valley is such a place. There are still many resources that can help improve the eternal body. However, most of the many resources in the death zone have great side effects, which will expand the problem of the eternal Tao seed. Therefore, there are very few immortals who are willing to go to the Valley of Death. Moreover, the interior of the Valley of Death is quite dangerous. If you are not careful, you can easily die, or be turned into a demon seed, and become a demon seed. Therefore, there are very few eternally attainable realms that enter the Valley of Death. The Valley of Death is very suitable for me, so let's go to the Valley of Death. Yi Tian decided. The Valley of Death is far away from the ancient Cloud Kingdom. The kingdom of the 10,000 gods and dozens of nearby countries are almost connected together, and outside this area is a death zone that far exceeds the area of these dozens of countries, and in a very far away place is the Valley of Death. Certainly, the Eternal Kingdom is not limited to this Eternal Kingdom, but the other Eternal Kingdoms are too far away, so there is no communication between them. Yi Tian constantly shuttled across the death zone. After a long time, he came to the Valley of Death. It's really far away here. Yi Tian secretly thought. The normal Eternal Supreme Tao realm would not run so far at all. The Valley of Death looks like an ordinary valley from the outside, but once Yi Tian enters, the inside is another world. Endless gray mist filled the surroundings, as if covering everything outside. Yi Tian walked in the Valley of Death, looking for resources. The Valley of Death is not suitable for other Eternal Tao realms to enter here. The breath of death here is a bit weird, and I'm afraid it will affect the Eternal Tao seed. Yi Tian secretly thought, but the real threat in the Valley of Death is not this, but the evil spirits of death. The evil spirits of death absorb the energy of the death zone and grow up, similar to the threat of eternal demons. Once injured by the evil spirits of death, the Eternal Tao seed will be given this kind of strange power will erode the Eternal Tao seed all the time, and exacerbate the problem of demonization. Even if it can be cleared later, the problem of demonization of the Eternal Tao seed will intensify, and there is no way to reverse it. Soon, one day, he encountered an evil spirit of death, and he fought with it, beheading it quickly, but did not see any dropped items. I thought I could come across a treasure similar to the Eternal Magic Crystal, but in the end there was nothing, so these death evil spirit stones are really useless. Yi Tian continued to move forward, gradually getting deeper into the face of death. After a while, he finally found a black mushroom. It's the Eternal Black Mushroom, which helps to improve the Eternal Tao body, but it has a big impact on the Eternal Tao seed, and it will intensify the transformation of the demon seed, but it can't affect me, good thing. Yi Tian collected this Eternal Black Mushroom. Then, he searched around, and soon found some Eternal Black Mushrooms. Of course, he also encountered other death evil spirits very quickly, and fought with these death evil spirits for a long time before solving them. In the years that followed, Yi Tian continued to collect various resources in the Valley of Death, and occasionally encountered extremely terrifying evil spirits of death. He was no match for him and could only be hunted down. And in the deepest part of the Valley of Death, there are still death evil spirits that are much more powerful than the ancient king, and he will be killed in a short time if he encounters them now. Yi Tian sent out piece by piece of resources, and kept going in again. In this way, millions of years of the Supreme Tao era have passed. During this period, his duplicated body also fell many times, but he collected a lot of resources, most of which were resources that would intensify the transformation of the eternal Tao seed, but he is a perfect Tao seed, so naturally there is no need to worry about the side effects of these resources. The collection of resources in the Valley of Death is almost done, the deepest place, I can't get into it with my current strength. Yi Tian secretly thought. So, he left the Valley of Death. I am afraid that it will take a long time before new resources will be bred here. In the following days, Yi Tian used the resources of the Valley of Death to upgrade the eternal Tao body. A variety of resources were refined by Yi Tian, and the effect was really good at the beginning, but as it got closer and closer to the small achievement of the eternal Taoist body, the effect was not so good. He reckoned that all these resources were exhausted, and at most he could only raise the eternal Tao body to the realm of Shaocheng. The eternal Tao body is too difficult to upgrade. No wonder the Emperor Ao Jiyu opened up the eternal kingdom for countless years and practiced for such a long time, only to raise the eternal Tao body to the Dacheng realm. Yi Tian secretly thought. Before you know it, 60 million Zidao eras have passed. This day, Yi Tian finally raised the eternal Tao body to the Shaocheng realm. Boom! His eternal Taoist body began to transform, and his strength skyrocketed moment by moment. Successful breakthrough, a small achievement in the perfect level eternal Taoist body. My current strength is absolutely no less than that of the original ancient king, and I can open up the eternal kingdom. Yi Tian secretly said. There are many benefits to opening up the eternal kingdom, so he naturally wants to open it up. And, after opening up the eternal kingdom, he can also send a group of human beings into his eternal kingdom, and let the human beings spread out and develop here. Certainly, even if this group of human beings are sent over, they cannot reveal the situation of void domain, they must all make an oath, and only the geniuses will be sent over. In addition, don't let Li Liao Jiao them know the location of void domain. Once they enter here, they are not allowed to go back. Otherwise, they will come in and out at will, and the imaginary domain will be exposed, which will be bad. In case he offends the strong, at least he has to hide in the imaginary domain, and if the imaginary domain is exposed, people can directly find his lair Shuan. You can't open up a kingdom in the ancient kingdom. The virtual domain is there, and it will be easy to be discovered in the future. But now, the virtual domain is in the kingdom of death. There are no strong people going there, but it will be safer. So, Yi Tian is going to open up an eternal kingdom in other places. Here it is. Yi Tian chose the vicinity of the Dragon Flame Kingdom to open up an eternal kingdom here, which is quite good. It is far away from the Demon Seed Abyss. There are 6 Demon Seed Abysses near the Kingdom of the Gods, and this location is the best. So on this day, Yi Tian came here, preparing to open up the eternal kingdom. Chapter 2972 Endless Kingdom. It's here. Yi Tian stood in the realm of death in this area, and then activated the eternal edict. Buzz. The eternal national decree emits a wave of fluctuations, which gradually spread, covering an incomparably huge area, and Yi Tian's will also covers this area with the eternal national decree, and can also adjust its position, at least it cannot be compared with the Dragon Flame Kingdom. The overlapping parts should not be too far away, just bordering on them. Subsequently, Yi Tian began to adjust the position, and the adjustment was completed after a while. It has started. With Yi Tian's thought, the Eternal Kingdom decree began to lead the origin of the Eternal Kingdom to descend, and opened up the Eternal Kingdom here. Eternal Kingdom, open. In an instant, the land and space in this area began to change, countless energies emerged, treasure lands emerged, many resources grew rapidly, and all the dead energies were driven away. There is a lot of movement about opening up the Eternal Kingdom, and it is impossible to hide it. Immediately, many Eternal Supreme Tao realms in Longyan Kingdom noticed it, especially the nearby Eternal Supreme Tao realms. They shuttled over one after another. When they discovered the situation in the dead zone, they were all shocked. This is opening up the Eternal Kingdom. How many years has it been since 970 opened up the Eternal Kingdom? It's been too long, and finally there is the Eternal Supreme Tao realm here to open up the Eternal Kingdom. Who is this guy? I can't perceive it, and in the process of opening up the eternal kingdom, I can't spy in, and I can't even get in. When it is developed, you will know. Soon, Lord Longyan also came here. Who is this creating the eternal kingdom? I didn't expect that just after one eternal kingdom collapsed, another eternal kingdom was born. Lord Longyan murmured, a new eternal kingdom is more valuable than an old eternal kingdom. Many eternal kingdoms have existed for countless years, many resources have been exploited, and it is difficult to breed new resources. In fact, the value is not high. But the new eternal kingdom is different, the value is very high, and there are unknown resources and treasures. 9 Poles of Void. Many eternal realms are also discussing, and they are curious about who has obtained an eternal kingdom order and is opening up the eternal kingdom. Then, no one knows, after all, whoever obtains the eternal kingdom will hide it and will not reveal it. Could it be Etn? He AHCD bid for an eternal Dao boundary stone at the trade fair last time, maybe he found an eternal kingdom edict in the eternal kingdom. Etn, he's not strong enough to fight in the eternal Dao realm, so he doesn't have to use it. I'll ask. Some eternal realms contacted Etn and asked if Etn was opening up the eternal kingdom. Etn received many messages from the eternal realm, and did not hide it. That's right, I'm opening up the eternal kingdom. Etn all responded. This response made the group of eternal realms envious. It's really Etn who is opening up the eternal kingdom. This is very lucky, and he can become an eternal king immediately. After learning that Etn opened up the eternal kingdom, many eternal realms contacted Etn, wanting to move into Etn's eternal kingdom. According to the opening rules of the eternal kingdom, after the successful development, within the scope of the 100 million Supreme Dao era, without Etn's permission, it is difficult for other eternal Supreme Dao realms to enter the eternal kingdom, and there will be a barrier to protect the eternal kingdom. It will not be fully released until after the 100 million Dao era. Therefore, many forces want to move their forces to the eternal kingdom within the scope of the 100 million eternal Dao era. In addition, according to the order of the kingdom of the gods, 80% of the territory of the nearby new eternal kingdom must be divided and given to other forces. No force can occupy the entire territory of the eternal kingdom unless it is stronger than the master of the kingdom of the gods. These forces all wanted to relocate to the eternal kingdom, and Etn would naturally not agree. He directly replied that he would talk about it in the future, because he wanted to open up the eternal kingdom with all his strength, so he didn't reply anymore. Time passed slowly. The eternal kingdom opened by Etn is gradually being successfully opened up. Boom! The eternal kingdom was successfully opened, and a layer of shields protected the entire eternal kingdom. But now, the resources of the eternal kingdom are in the process of being bred, and it will take some years before they can be bred one after another. The eternal kingdom has been opened up, and a batch must be sent over. Etn secretly thought. Human domain. A group of strong human races had already gathered here, and Etn had already ordered them to come here, and Yi Xingchen and the others would do it. These humans all voluntarily left the human domain, and they all made an oath. There are millions of human beings in this group, and the reason why so many eternal Supreme Dao realms are willing to leave the virtual domain is that Etn promised that they will all be able to step into the veteran level in the future. In the Eternal Kingdom, the mythical Dao realm is undoubtedly very common, but in the Void realm, it is the top powerhouse and they are naturally willing to leave. Certainly, it's not that they don't have a chance to come back, they still have a chance to come back, as long as their contribution is large enough. If they break through to the Eternal Realm, there is still a way to come back, but if they come back, they are not allowed to go out. Unless Yi Tian's strength surpasses the realm of eternity, he will completely let go of the passage between the imaginary domain and the eternal border, and even open a passage to directly reach his own eternal kingdom. Father, all the human races who are going to the eternal kingdom are ready. Yi Xingchen said. Then let's go together. Yi Tian said. Immediately, Yi Tian used a space-type eternal original treasure to put all these human races inside, and then entered the eternal kingdom from the Valley of Myths. Afterwards, he traveled through the death zone and headed for the eternal kingdom he created. During this period, he ignored other forces. He must first let the human race develop their own eternal kingdom, collect some resources, and strengthen the human race. In the 100 million Dao era, this group of human races should be able to raise their strength to the mythical Dao realm, the outstanding ones should be able to upgrade to the eternal Dao realm, and the real monsters may be able to break through to the eternal Dao realm. Quote. Yi Tian estimated, soon, his eternal kingdom has come. At this time, This eternal kingdom didn't have a single building, so Yi Tian helped build a few giant cities, and the rest depended on themselves. After, Yi Tian began to wander around this eternal kingdom, collecting very good resources when he encountered them, but time was limited, and most of the resources here were not conceived. Here is an eternal treasure that is being conceived, mark it down, and take it away later. Yi Tian secretly thought, and in order for the eternal kingdom to communicate with other eternal kingdoms in the future, he had to name the eternal kingdom. Let's call it the Endless Kingdom. Yi Tian named Dao. Chapter 2973 Lord's Meeting. In the following years, Yi Tian began to arrange his endless capital, which naturally had to be built incomparably luxuriously, and he used various precious materials to arrange various powerful formations. At the very least, it can't be worse than the original August country. In addition, he has to choose a group of guards, and he will focus on training them. Naturally, there are many human geniuses who want to join the guards. Of course, all kinds of trivial matters are handled by his son Yi Xingchen himself. As time goes by, the Endless Kingdom is developing rapidly, and some of these human beings even combine with each other, giving birth to offspring, and these offspring are even more combined with each other. The point is, the breeding speed of human beings is too fast. Even though it is difficult for powerful humans to give birth to descendants, their frequency is too fast, and they still reproduce faster than other races. A long period of time has passed, and the number of this group of humans has become hundreds of millions, and they were originally strong humans, and their descendants are born with strong natural blood and fast cultivation speed. In addition, there are treasures of chance everywhere in the Endless Country. Therefore, this group of human beings quickly became stronger, and gradually formed families, and giant cities were built in various parts of the Endless Kingdom, gradually taking on the appearance of the Eternal Kingdom. However, once hundreds of millions of Dao era have passed, 80% of the territory must be given up, otherwise the Juji League will find him trouble. Yi Tian doesn't care about things now, he is practicing hard. After becoming the Lord of the Eternal Kingdom, his cultivation speed has been accelerated, his refining resources are faster, and his improvement is also faster. In addition, his understanding has also been blessed, and he has been fully blessed in all aspects. In addition, after the Endless Kingdom was opened up, he was able to obtain the first batch of resources, which is why every Eternal Lord is not weak. If it is still weak under such a blessing, it is too useless. But if it is waste material, it is impossible to obtain the Eternal National Edict. Before you know it, the days and years of the Dao era have passed. On this day, he collected another batch of resources, including 6 pieces of eternal original treasures and a batch of resources that help to improve the eternal Dao body. Of course, there are still a lot of resources that have been snatched away by those humans. Some of them have risen rapidly, and they should have obtained great opportunities, but Yi Tian will not snatch their opportunities. And his relatives have also obtained a lot of resource benefits, and their strength is also rapidly improving. Coupled with his treasures such as the eternal magic crystal, his wife and children will successively complete the transformation of the eternal Dao body and reach the entry level of the eternal Dao body. With their strength, they can be said to be powerful from the eternal to the Dao realm, and they can easily kill them in seconds. Those general eternal to Dao realm. The eternal national decree is too mysterious. It is too difficult to completely refine the eternal national decree and comprehend its internal origin. Yi Tian murmured. He knew that it was impossible for him to completely control the Endless Kingdom now, and he still had to raise the perfect level eternal Dao body to a perfect state before he could try to completely control the Eternal Kingdom order, so as to completely control the Endless Kingdom. Afterwards, he paid attention to the human beings in the Endless Kingdom, and a large number of mythical realms have been born. These mythical realms are placed in the virtual domain, that is, the elders one by one. If so many elders go back, they will all be scared to death. Congenital origin alliance. However, in the eternal realm, these mythical realms are nothing at all. In addition to these mythical Supreme Tao, there are more than a dozen people who have been promoted to the realm of eternal Supreme Tao. So much better. At the beginning, his resources and treasures were all obtained by himself, but now, he is almost picking them up everywhere. If he wants to inherit, and needs resources and resources, it would be strange if his cultivation is not fast. At the beginning, they did not take the road of superimposing mythical bodies, otherwise they would not be able to cultivate so quickly. Before you know it, tens of millions of Dao era years have passed. This day, the Lord of all gods called all the lords to a meeting. Therefore, Yi Tian also participated. The meeting was in the kingdom of the gods, and Yi Tian set off from the Endless Kingdom to the kingdom of the gods. In the palace of the great Lord of all gods, there are 67 kings, plus the great king of all gods, there are 68 kings, which represent 68 eternal kingdoms. The kings sat down one by one, waiting for the king of Yongno to appear. Boom! A figure appeared on the main seat, and it was the Lord of all gods. Zero seeking flowers. Many kings stood up one after another and said respectfully, "I have seen the great king of all gods." The Lord of all gods said, "My lords, I have called you here this time. I have a few things to say. The first thing is to welcome the newly born Lord, Yi Tian." The Lord of Yi Tian opened up the endless kingdom. After a period of time, it will be fully open. Take advantage of this opportunity to discuss the distribution of the 80% of the territory. If there are forces in your country that need to relocate, you can discuss with Yi Tian to divide the territory. Hearing this, many country leaders became interested, and they naturally want to let the forces with whom they have a good relationship move over to share this pie. Subsequently, these kings communicated with Yi Tian and began to allocate territory quotas. I saw Yi Tian took out the territory of the Endless Kingdom, and first indicated the 20% of the territory he wanted. The 2% of the territory must be connected together and not allowed to be separated. This is also a rule, otherwise the good territory will be divided away. Other forces not happy either. Then, these country leaders began to discuss, dividing up a piece of area. Each of these areas will be given to each power. As for those powers, Yi Tian has the right to speak, but if Yi Tian does not choose, then the country leaders will choose. Although many forces contacted him secretly, willing to give him benefits and give them a part of the territory, Yi Tian didn't like those resources, so he didn't agree. Let these country lords make arrangements. Soon, the 80% of the territory was almost divided, and these forces could move in after the 100 million to the Tao era passed. Seeing that the leaders of the kingdoms had already discussed, the Lord of all gods continued. The second thing is that the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance is the most powerful and eternal to the Tao realm, and suddenly the demons have become demons. Now, a large number of demons are raging in the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance. We are asking for help, so we need you to send a group of eternal supreme Tao realm to support. This is also the order of the Eternal Boundary Court, I must obey. Yes, many kings responded. Immediately, they began to discuss how many eternal realms to send, but they can't support too much, otherwise they will be in danger, and no one knows whether the 6 demons in the abyss will riot. Chapter 2974 Eternal Yin Wind Belt. Thousand Mountains National Alliance. Yi Tian just became the ruler of an eternal kingdom, and he doesn't understand this at all. So, he sent a message to another country lord, who informed him about the situation of the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance. After listening, Yi Tian finally understood. It turns out that the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance is the closest eternal kingdom area to the 10,000 Gods Kingdom, and there are 32 eternal kingdoms there. The 10,000 Gods Nation is called the 10,000 Gods Nation Alliance by the outside world, and the Thousand Mountains Nation Alliance is also called Songyushan Guokang, the most powerful country there. On the other side of the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance, there is no existence beyond the eternal realm, and the most powerful one is only a half-step breakthrough. But no one expected that this existence, which was expected to surpass the eternal realm, would suddenly become a demon. As for the Eternal Boundary Court, 570, is an organization jointly established by a group of beings who transcend the eternal supreme Tao realm. In order to better manage the countless countries, but the Eternal Boundary Court is not harmonious, and they are still competitors. But on some things, there is still consensus. For example, this time to save the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance, other Jieding members asked the 10,000 Gods Kingdom Alliance to rescue them. Therefore, the great Lord of all gods can only entrust the task to Yi Tian and the other kings. As for the Lord of all gods himself, he will not deal with such trivial matters. After all, building power is not for the convenience of oneself. If you have to do everything by yourself, then what do you train your subordinates for? Although Yi Tian and the others are not subordinates of the great Lord of all gods, they can be transferred at will, and no one dares to refute. Subsequently, one country lord said the number of people in the eternal Tao realm they sent, and they were all strong men who had condensed the eternal Tao. If they didn't even condense the eternal Tao seed, then going to support would just be death. I'll go and support myself, Yi Tian said. Yi Tian went in person, and the other kings naturally did not object. If Yi Tian really fell, there is a high probability that the demons will not destroy the Eternal Edict, but they will have a chance to obtain the Eternal Edict. It is really rare for the Lord of the Ancient Kingdom to destroy the Eternal Kingdom Edict when he is about to die. The second matter was settled, and the Lord of the 10,000 Gods continued. In another 10 million Supreme Tao era, I will leave the 10,000 Gods Kingdom, and at that time I will hand over the Eternal Kingdom order to my disciple Qinhe, and let him in charge of the position of Lord of the 10,000 Gods. What, Lord of all Gods, you want to leave? Many kings were surprised. Although they have no status if the Lord of the myriad gods is present, everything must be obeyed by the Lord of the all gods, but if the Lord of the all gods leaves, there will be no one on the side of the all gods kingdom alliance who transcends the realm of eternity exists. A total of 5 beings who transcended the eternal Tao realm were born in the alliance of the 10,000 gods, but they all left. The Lord of the 10,000 gods is the oldest and the last one to stay here, and he did not expect to leave now. Don't worry, if there is a crisis here, I will still come back. The great kingdom of all gods is the main way. Seeing this, the other kings did not say anything, and they knew very well that they could not interfere with the decision of the king of the gods. Okay, just these 3 things, this meeting can be withdrawn. The great kingdom of all gods is the main way. The other lords retreated one after another and left the kingdom of the gods. Endless kingdom. Yi Tian came back, and then waited for the other country leaders to make arrangements, and then went to the Qinshan Kingdom alliance together. Soon after, the other lords sent a summons, and they were ready. Subsequently, a duplicate body of Yi Tian joined these country masters and some eternal realms, and they hurried to the Qinshan Kingdom alliance together. This time, more than 300 eternal Supreme Tao realm were sent. They are all strong men who have gathered the eternal Tao body. There are a lot of talents under the sovereignty of these countries. Yi Tian secretly thought, on the way, many eternal realms maintain the same speed. It is not too far from the alliance of the gods to the alliance of the 1,000 mountains, and it will not take too long to rush there. On the way, the family talked and laughed. A band of wind blocked their way. It's the eternal yin wind belt, everyone, be careful here, there may be some eternal yin spirits hidden here, and they still pose a certain threat to us. A king said, eternal yin wind belt, eternal yin spirit. It was the first time Yi Tian knew about this, but he didn't ask. 4. Many eternal Supreme Tao realms entered the eternal yin wind belt together, and a wave of yin wind force invaded their bodies, and each eternal Supreme Tao urged the eternal Tao body to counteract this force. Then, they shuttled quickly to cross this cloudy wind belt. Suddenly, eternal ghosts appear one by one, and these eternal ghosts are invisible and ignorant. Everyone, use the eternal Tao seed secret art to attack, and don't attack with your body when you go, these eternal ghosts restrain the power of your body. The other kings reminded. Yi Tian understood, and then attacked with the eternal Tao seed secret art. Boom, one by one, the eternal Tao realm took action, writing that these eternal ghosts started fighting. The strength of these eternal ghosts is not weaker than that of the eternal Tao body powerhouses, but they are still very powerful as the kings, and they quickly killed the group of eternal ghosts, but these kings were not happy. Because these are only the weakest eternal yin spirits, and it is useless to kill them all. They will be bred in the future, and they are almost inexhaustible. A number of strong men who surpassed the eternal Tao realm once came here and killed all the eternal yin spirits in the eternal yin wind belt, but it didn't take long before they all appeared again. After that, there will be no powerhouse beyond the eternal Tao realm to clean up these eternal ghosts. Next, they were attacked by several 4.6 waves of eternal shades, but all of them were killed or repelled. Get out of the eternal yin wind belt. Wow, many eternal Supreme Tao realms were brought out from the eternal yin wind, and I was relieved. They are also extremely unlucky, encountering that kind of top-notch eternal ghost. In that case, they will have to take out life-saving things, and it will be a loss. Keep going, we are not far from the Zishan Kingdom Alliance. They continued on their way. After a while, they finally arrived at the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance. The Eternal Kingdoms could be seen at a glance, but when they rushed to the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance, they saw ruins. Apparently, the situation here is not good as the demons are rampant. Spread out and kill the demons. If you are in danger, ask each other for help. A king said. Chapter 2975 Strange Vines, The Fear of the Kings. Hush ha ha. One by one, the eternal Tao realm separated to attack and kill those demons. And the top leaders went to look for the demon seed that Lord Qinshan transformed into. In the past, they were naturally no match for Lord Qinshan, even though the physical body is stronger, but the combat power is still weakened. Therefore, they were still able to besiege and kill the demon seed that the Lord of Qinshan turned into. Demon seed. Yi Tian encountered a demon species, and was frantically killing those fleeing mythical Supreme Tao realm and eternal Supreme Tao Hua. They were like ants in front of the demon species, and their desperate attacks could not even be counted as tickling. Yi Tian shuttled over, directly trapped the opponent with a Taoist secret technique, Shuri prisoner, and then shot through the opponent's body to kill him. Thank you, senior. A group of powerful people from eternity to Taoism and mythology to Taoism said gratefully. Yi Tian nodded slightly, and then went to other places. As time passed, Yi Tian killed one after another 07 monsters. But soon, there was Eternal Tao Realm asking for help. Obviously, he encountered a powerful demon and couldn't handle it. Yi Tian was very close to the other party, so he directly shuttled over to help. Soon, he saw an Eternal Tao Realm fighting with a demon seed, but he was hanged and beaten, his whole body was shattered, and the power of the demon seed invaded the opponent's Eternal Tao seed. The situation was very critical. Yi Tian made a move immediately, writing that the monsters started to fight. This monster should be comparable to a strong man in the realm of eternal Taoism, and its strength is indeed not weak. And the eternal Tao realm just now is just the eternal Tao body who has reached the peak of entry, so naturally he can't beat this demon. Boom! Yi Tian made a move, slapped the opponent directly, and quickly suppressed and killed the monster. And that eternal supreme Taoist was very shocked. He always thought that Yi Tian was lucky enough to obtain the Eternal Kingdom Edict and become an eternal king, but in fact his strength is not enough. Unexpectedly, Yi Tian's combat power is so powerful, he belongs to the middle rank among many kings. This eternal supreme Tao realm is here to heal his wounds, and he is temporarily unable to participate in the battle, while Yi Tian continues to kill the demons. With the support of Yi Tian and the others from the eternal supreme Tao realm, the eternal supreme Tao realm of the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance had hope and began to counterattack the demons. The two sides started a protracted battle and killing, but many weak people suffered, so they could only hide on the edge of the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance, hoping that the battle would not spread here. The strength of the demons is still not as good as their eternal realm. As the years passed, many of the demons were gradually killed, and many of them hid in the abyss of the demons again, which was their home field. And the eternal supreme Tao realm really dare not enter the abyss of the demon seed. The problems of the eternal Tao seed of those top kings themselves are not small. If they fight in the abyss of the demon seed for too long, there is really a risk of becoming a demon seed. Especially if it is hit hard by the demon seed there, the chance of becoming a demon seed is as high as 70%. Therefore, if the demons fled back to the abyss of the demons, they would not chase them down, but would only help the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance repair the formation at the entrance of the abyss of the demons. After a period of time, the crisis of the demon seed was gradually eliminated, and all that remained was to kill the minister of Qinshan who had transformed into the demon seed. If this demon is not killed, the crisis will not be truly eliminated. Wow! Yi Tian came to the kingdom of thousands of mountains, where it was beaten into ruins, and the void was filled with a terrifying aura of demon seeds. And the 6 kings jointly suppressed Lord Qinshan, but Lord Qinshan was still fighting crazily, and the aura of the demon seed was getting stronger and stronger. Swish swish swish, many country lords have come, and some eternal realms have come. What's going on? The 6 of you still can't kill the demon seed, Lord of Qinshan. A king was shocked. One of the 6 kings said, in the beginning, the king of Qinshan was not so powerful, but it became more and more fierce, and something was wrong. We are almost unable to suppress it now. You all come to help. It is good. The kings of the country and the eternal supreme Tao realm whose strength is above the eternal Tao body Shaocheng realm all came to help, but the weaker ones retreated so as not to interfere with their battle. After all, his strength is too weak, and he can't even hurt the demon seed, the Lord of Qinshan. Yi Tian also made a move, but he was not the main force. Boom! Many eternal to Tao realm shots, the attack power covered the Qinshan Lord's demon seed, and the Qinshan Lord's demon seed continued to collapse, but the demon seed's aura on the opponent's body became more and more terrifying. This situation is too wrong, but right now we must kill the demon seed, the Lord of Qinshan. Under the frenzied attacks of many eternal supreme Tao realms, the eternal supreme Tao realm of the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance came to help, and finally killed the Qinshan King demon seed completely. And after killing the demon seed of Lord Qinshan, a black vine grew out of the demon seed on his body. This strange scene stunned many eternal realms, and they did not dare to approach. If I hadn't guessed, the sudden transformation of the king of Yushan should be caused by this vine, said the 10 kings. If this is the case, this vine can make the eternal Tao realm demon seed, then we can't keep it, just destroy it. Another lord suggested. Okay, let's shoot together and destroy it. Many eternal to Tao realms shot again. However, under their frenzied attack, the body of the Qinshan King demon seed was annihilated, but this vine was still fine. What a tough vine, our strength can't destroy 760 at all, I'm afraid only the Lord of all gods can destroy it. Then what to do? Take it back. Who will take it? I dare not. In the end, an eternal supreme Tao realm was allowed to take it. However, this eternal supreme Taoist was still a little scared, walked over cautiously, grabbed the black vine, put it away and took it away. It seems to be fine, hurry back to the alliance of the kingdom of the gods. Immediately. They left immediately, and did not stay here in the Qinshan Kingdom alliance, they left directly. On the way, these eternal Tao realms are on their way quickly, however, they haven't left the alliance for too long. The eternal supreme Taoist who took the black vine stopped suddenly. Not good. His complexion began to change, and the aura of a demon seed permeated his body. The next moment, he turned into a demon. Kill. The transformation of the demon seed cannot be reversed, and other eternal Taoists can only kill it by hand. This eternal supreme Tao realm was not strong enough, so he was killed with one move. After killing this eternal Tao realm, the black vine spread out from his eternal Tao seed. This weird scene made them completely afraid to touch it. Let it stay here and seal it. A king proposed. Reference 2976 Evil vines, treasures that grow the eternal Tao. It is good, the other eternal realms agreed. This thing is too terrifying. I thought that if I grabbed this vine and didn't refine it, I might not be transformed by the demon seed. I didn't expect that the eternal Tao realm just put it into the void in his body, and it was actually killed by the demon seed, melted. This is so weird, how dare they take him back, otherwise, all the eternity and Tao realms along the way will be transformed by demons. Even the Lord of Qinshan couldn't bear it, and they didn't have any confidence in being transformed by the demon seed, so they were unwilling to take risks. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Many eternal supreme Tao realm shot, the earth swelled, covering this black vine, and then they used sealing methods one by one to seal it. Of course, they didn't take the seal seriously, and left quickly after simply doing it like this, not daring to stay here at all. After all, they also suspect that staying near the black vine for a long time will also cause the eternal Tao seed to become a demon, and then it will be over. Swish swish swish, they left quickly, then passed through the eternal yin wind belt, and headed towards the kingdom of the gods. But on the other side, another duplicate body of Yi Tian rushed to the black vine from another direction. He is very interested in black vines, this thing is definitely a good thing. Other eternal Tao seeds in the eternal Tao realm have flaws and are easy to be demonized, but he is a perfect eternal Tao seed and cannot be demonized. Therefore, he wanted to take this black mausoleum for research. After these eternal supreme Tao realms go back, tell the Lord of the 10,000 gods, maybe the Lord of the 10,000 gods knows him. If he is interested, then I have nothing to do. Then, he speeds up and rushes over. His speed is much faster than many eternal Tao realms, so he must rush to the black vines first, and when he takes the black vines, those eternal Tao realms probably haven't rushed back to the kingdom of the gods. After all, those top kings also have to reduce their speed to maintain a lower speed, so that the weakest eternal realm can keep up. Time passed slowly. Yi Tian's copy body also passed through the eternal yin wind belt, passed through easily, and then went straight to the black vines. Finally, he arrived, found back quote. Yi Tian saw this huge mountain, and then attacked with all his strength. Boom! Under attack after attack, the seal of this mountain peak was cracked. After all, it is a temporary seal, so naturally it doesn't have much defensive ability. After smashing the seal, the vine appeared, Yi Tian took it away, put it into the void in his body, and then erased the traces here, without leaving a trace of clues. After he was done, he left quickly. Kingdom of the gods. Many eternal supreme Tao realms have returned, and they will meet the Lord of all gods for the first time. As the crisis of the Qinshan National Alliance resolved, the Lord of all gods asked. Solved. A king. But soon, he said the black vine, Lord of the 1,000 gods, we have encountered a problem this time. The reason why the Lord of Qinshan became a demon seed should be related to a black vine. We besiege the Lord of Qinshan the demon seed, his demon seed breath is getting stronger and stronger. After killing him, a black vine grows from his demon seed. One of us, the eternal supreme Tao realm, put it into the void in his body, and as a result, he traveled a certain distance afterwards, it was transformed into a demon seed. We dare not take it with us, and sealed it on the way. Upon hearing this, the Lord of all gods showed great interest. What does it look like? Let me see it. The great kingdom of all gods is the main way. Yes, the Lord changed his mind. The Lord of all gods stared at the transformed black vine, a little excited. It turned out to be an evil vine. Lord of the 10,000 gods, what is this? The Lord asked. Judging from the reaction of the Lord of the gods, it seems to be a good thing. The evil vine is a strange plant. It is a special thing that grows in the death zone. It can induce the eternal Tao seed to become a demon seed. As long as you touch it or put it into the void in your body, it will be infected by its demon seed. Even if it is half a step away from the existence of the eternal Tao realm, it can't stop it. Only the strong who have truly surpassed the eternal Tao realm can touch it without incident. Although the evil slaying vine will induce the transformation of the eternal Tao seed into a demon seed, it is very valuable. If you refine it, you can use it to fight, and the threat to the eternal Tao realm is very terrifying. Of course. For those who have surpassed the eternal Tao realm, the evil slaying vines can strengthen the eternal Tao seed. The great kingdom of all gods is the main way. Strengthen the eternal Tao seed. They were shocked. The Lord of all gods smiled and said, if the eternal Tao seed is not induced by it to transform into a demon seed, it will naturally be able to use it. Let it take root in the eternal Tao seed, absorb external energy, and then be transformed by the evil slaying vines to integrate into it. Enter the eternal Tao seed and make the eternal Tao seed stronger and stronger. You should be clear that if you want to break through the eternal Tao realm, you must let the eternal Tao seed evolve, and the evil slaying vines will help you break through the eternal Tao realm to a higher level, but you can't bear the influence of the evil slaying vine, so it is only suitable for us to improve our strength. Backquote, tell me, where is this thing? After I get it, I will definitely reward you. They immediately revealed the location of the evil vines, and the Lord of the 10,000 gods knew about it, and directly shuttled there. His speed is very fast, and it won't take long to get there. I really envy the great king of the gods, who got another chance, but the chance fell in front of us, but we didn't have the strength to get it. A king secretly said. I can't help it. The evil slayer vines are given to us, but we dare not take them. Another king shook his head helplessly. But Yi Tian was extremely excited, but didn't show it. The evil slaying vines can actually grow the eternal Tao seed. Zhao. Yi Tian was very surprised. After the eternal sequence to Tao rule is practiced into the eternal Tao seed, it is almost frozen and it is difficult to improve. Since he practiced the eternal Tao seed, he hasn't improved the eternal Tao seed even a little bit, and he even thought that he couldn't improve it. But now I know, it's not that there is no way to upgrade, but that the treasures that upgrade the eternal Tao seed are too rare. But now that he has obtained the evil slaying vine, it will be no problem to surpass eternity to the Tao realm in the future. The evil vines can't be exposed, otherwise fools will know that my eternal Tao seed is the perfect eternal Tao seed. Yi Tian thought to himself. He decides, the duplicate body that took away the evil vine can't stay in the alliance of the kingdom of the gods, it's better to return directly to the imaginary domain. In this case, it is safer. Subsequently, his duplicate body kept detours and returned to the void domain, so that he would not meet the Lord of all gods. Chapter 2977 The shield of the endless kingdom disappears, and the relocation begins. Where's the evil slaying vine? The great lord of the 10,000 gods finally arrived at the place sealed by the evil vines, but found nothing, and the traces here were erased. The evil slaying vine was taken away. Who did it? He wondered. Those eternal to Tao realm can't take away the evil slaying vine, unless they seek death, and they all come back together. There is no time to take this evil slaying vine. After much deliberation, there is only one possibility, that is, secretly there is a strong man who transcends the eternal realm, maybe a well-meaning member of the realm court, who came to see if he could help, and finally saw the evil vine, which is why take it away. If this is the case, he has no way to get it back. After all, these evil vines are still ownerless, anyone can take them away, and he has never had them before, so why should he want them? Subsequently, the Lord of the 10,000 gods returned to the 10,000 gods kingdom and directly said that the evil vines were gone. As for whether he believes in these eternal realms or not, then he doesn't care. However, some state leaders discussed it in private. The great Lord of the gods is too stingy. He got the evil slaying vine, but he said it was gone. If you don't want to give us a reward, just say so. A king complained. This time I went to help, the benefit did not get 107, there were a lot of bad things, and a subordinate of the eternal supreme Tao realm fell. However, he only dared to complain about one or two things in private, but he didn't dare to speak to the Lord of all gods. Forget it, the great Lord of the myriad gods will leave soon, maybe we won't have to see him again. Another lord said. If the Lord of all gods knew their complaints, he would be absolutely speechless, because he really didn't get the evil slaying vine. If he got the evil slaying vine, he would be cursed. But he didn't get it, so he was scolded for nothing. Yi Tian detoured back to the entrance of the imaginary domain, and then entered the imaginary domain, and he was relieved. He did not return to the human domain, but started researching the evil vines in a remote area of the virtual domain, in order to prevent problems in the research from affecting other people. The Lord of all gods said that the evil slaying vines can be planted in the eternal Tao seed. Let me try. Yi Tian integrated the evil slaying vine into his eternal Tao seed. Immediately, the evil punishment vine took root in the eternal Tao seed. In fact, the evil punishment vine had been affecting him, but his eternal Tao seed was not affected at all. Otherwise, his end would be the same as that of the Lord Qinshan, who was transformed into a demon by the evil vine. The evil slaying vines took root after the eternal Tao seed, and released a kind of energy crazily to affect his eternal Tao seed, but his eternal Tao seed was too perfect, so naturally it would not be a demon seed, but absorbed this energy and gradually grew stronger. This was also the first time he felt that the eternal Tao seed could be raised. Boom! During the promotion of the eternal Tao seed, he seemed to have felt countless mysterious messages, and his understanding of the eternal Tao seed was deeper. The eternal Tao seed itself is a combination of rules, and it is too difficult to improve. But the evil slaying vines can enhance the eternal Tao seed and make the eternal Tao seed grow a little bit. As time goes by, Yi Tian's eternal Tao seed grows up gradually, but it also consumes a lot of energy. Gradually, the vine begins to crazily absorb the energy of the outside world, and its own energy is not enough. Then, Yi Tian began to frantically absorb all kinds of resources to supply the Xiezu vines, and let the Xiezu vines transform their energy to strengthen the eternal Tao seed. The advantage of the powerful eternal Tao seed is that it is easier and faster for Yi Tian to upgrade his eternal Tao body, and the Tao seed secret technique will also be more powerful, and his own strength is also growing. The Xiezu vine is really too powerful. This treasure is very suitable for me. With it, my strength will definitely be comparable to those of the eternal Tao realm powerhouses who are in the perfect realm of the eternal Tao body. Yi Tian murmured. The point is, this thing is useless for him in the future, and it can be used by his wife and children. They are also perfect eternal bodies, and they can also use the evil slaying vines. It can be said AHCB that the effect of the evil slaying vines is too great. With the evil slaying vines, I, my wife, son and daughter can all advance to a level beyond the eternal Tao realm. Yi Tian murmured. In the days that followed, Yi Tian used various resources to enhance his eternal Tao body, and at the same time used the evil punishment vine to enhance his eternal Tao seed. His strength has steadily improved, becoming stronger and stronger. 10 million years have passed since the Qinshan Kingdom Alliance event. On this day, the great lord of the 10,000 gods left the 10,000 gods kingdom, and it is unclear where he went. And his eternity decree was handed over to his disciple Qinhe. Qinhe became the ruler of the kingdom of all gods. Although Qinhe has reached the level of surpassing eternity to Tao realm by half a step, he is not number one in the 10,000 gods kingdom alliance under the great lord of the 10,000 gods. He is only the first in speed, but not in strength. Certainly, after the lord of the 10,000 gods left, he must have left treasures for him. In addition to the eternal supreme Tao realm legion under the command of the 10,000 gods kingdom, no one dared to provoke him. However, the deterrent power of the kingdom of the gods is naturally not as good as the master of the kingdom of the gods. In the future, Qinhe, the new lord of the 10,000 gods, will not be able to follow an order like the great lord of the 10,000 gods, and the other lords will follow suit. This kind of situation is impossible to happen, unless they do something innocuous, but if it really involves their own interests, no one will do it. Yi Tian didn't care about this matter, he honestly improved his strength. Gradually, tens of millions of Tao era years passed. The shield of the endless kingdom will dissipate, and those forces will be relocated. Yi Tian secretly thought, during this period of time, human beings in the endless country have developed and grown too many times. Hundreds of people have been born in the eternal to the Taoist realm, and more powerful people from the eternal to the Taoist realm have been born, and the first batch of human beings in the endless country have been promoted to the mythical level. To the Tao realm level. At this time, these human beings have moved their huge cities to the 20% of the territory divided by Yi Tian. From now on, only the 20% of the territory will belong to Yi Tian, and the other 80% of the territory belonging to humans will be occupied by other forces one after another. Click. The shield is gone. At this time, a country leader contacted Yi Tian. Masters, let those forces move in. Yi Tian replied. Subsequently, one by one, the top powers and middle powers rushed to the endless country with a large number of Eternal to Tao realm and Eternal to Tao powerhouses, and began to occupy positions according to the pre-specified sites, and then began to transform the sites. And many national leaders discovered that there is an extra human race in the endless country, and the development is not bad. They wondered, where did this human race come from? Chapter 2978 Teaching Humans Endless Tao Seeds. These country lords have investigated, and only know that these human races are the same ethnic group as Yi Tian, and they should be ethnic groups in a small place, such as some crevice worlds. Therefore, they did not delve into it. With a large number of forces entering the Endless Kingdom has become prosperous like other eternal kingdoms. Moreover, in the future, the resources of the Endless Kingdom will continue to be bred, which will also help these forces grow stronger. Time flies. Yi Tian's strength is still growing steadily, and the Eternal Tao Seed and Eternal Tao Body are both improving. This day, Yi Tian started to use the Market Sun Disk again. He was going to deduce the high-level Eternal Tao Seed, and supply some human beings to exchange for cultivation in the Eternal Tao realm. In this way, even if it is exposed, the high-level Eternal Tao Seed will not make those forces go crazy, and when it is exposed, he will be able to withstand it with his strength. But the perfect Eternal Tao Seed, not to mention the limit on the number of inheritance, even if there is no limit on the number of times, he would not dare to pass it on everywhere. Time flies. Yi Tian, after continuous deduction, coupled with the experience of previous deduction, easily deduced a high-level Eternal Taoist inheritance, but it also made many duplicate bodies scrapped. This high-level and Eternal Tao Seed inheritance is called the Endless Tao Seed. Yi Tian named it. He placed this kind of inheritance in the human temple. If there is an eternal supreme Tao realm that has reached the required level of cultivation, and if you make enough contributions, you can exchange for this kind of inheritance. Certainly, he didn't announce the grade of the Endless Tao Seed, only when it was actually exchanged would he know the grade of the Endless Tao Seed, and he had to make an oath not to allow it to be leaked, so there would be no big problem. When the Endless Tao Seed inheritance was released, many eternal Tao realms were excited. Although they have not yet comprehended the rules of the eternal sequence to Tao to the perfect state, and are not qualified to practice the Eternal Tao Seed, at least they don't have to worry about the inheritance of the Eternal Tao Seed in the future. They have also communicated with the Eternal Tao realm of other forces, but they are very clear about the preciousness of the Eternal Tao Seed. Even if many Eternal Tao realms have cultivated to the peak of the Eternal Tao realm, there is no way to obtain the inheritance of the Eternal Tao Seed. Certainly, Yi Tian also revealed the advantages and disadvantages of the Eternal Tao Seed. It is up to these human beings to cultivate in the Eternal Tao realm or not. But, since the opening of the Endless Kingdom, a lot of Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao rule items have been born in the territory. Some lucky humans have obtained a lot of Eternal Supreme Tao realm. It is really hopeful that they will comprehend the Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao rule to 10 in the near future. Into the realm of perfection. That's it. More than 30 million years have passed since the Tao era. This day, in the human temple of the Endless Kingdom, Linley, a human from Eternal Tao realm, was staring at the Endless Tao Seed inheritance in the exchange list, and his heart was full of longing. In these years, he has not only wandered in the Endless Kingdom, but also has been to other eternal kingdoms. He has even interacted with many forces, and he has also obtained an inheritance of the Eternal Tao Seed, but it is the most rubbish inferior Eternal Tao Seed. He is very clear about how hot the inferior Eternal Tao Seed is, and the Eternal Tao Seed of the human race temple should not be the inferior Eternal Tao Seed. This news comes from several high-level human beings. Judging from the disclosed information, the Endless Tao Seed should be an Eternal Tao Seed above the elementary level. The specific kind of Tao Seed is bound by an oath, and the high-level human beings will not disclose it. The requirements for exchanging Endless Tao Seeds are too high, and it will take too long for me to exchange them. Moreover, I was lucky enough to obtain an eternal original treasure that helps to comprehend the rules of the Eternal Sequence Supreme Tao, as well as multiple eternal treasures. Sequence to Tao rule item. Not long ago, I just comprehended the Eternal Sequence to Tao rule to the perfect state. Now, it is just right to practice the Eternal Tao Seed. The contribution value cannot be exchanged with treasures, but if you find a treasure land or an opportunity, you can turn it in, thereby obtaining a large amount of contribution value. I do know a treasure land. If I turn it in, I might be able to get a lot of contribution points. Linley secretly thought. As for that place, he originally wanted to keep his own strength to enter in the future, but it is better to exchange it for contribution points and exchange them for Endless Tao Seeds. In case that place is discovered by other eternal supreme Tao realms and others hand it in, then there will be no contribution value from him. Then, he immediately contacted Yi Xingchen, one of the top leaders of the human race temple, and handed over this opportunity. Soon, Yi Xingchen is here. I have seen the Lord of the Star Palace. Lin Li said respectfully. Seeing Lin Lei, Yi Xingchen nodded slightly. Lin Lei, you want to hand over a treasure land, where is it? 0. Seeking flowers. At this location, Lin Li said the specific location. Come on, let's go over and have a look and evaluate the contribution value. Yi Xingchen led Lin Li over. They shuttled continuously, and soon came to an edge area of the Endless Kingdom. Here we are. Lin Li pointed to a canyon and said, it's here, but if you want to get in, you have to use a special method. I saw that Lin Li urged the eternal sequence to Tao rule to fill the entire canyon, and suddenly a place actually hindered the power of the eternal sequence to Tao rule, and even repelled it. However, Lin Li kept using the eternal sequence to invade this point, and gradually, an entrance appeared. Go in and have a look. 0. Yi Xingchen walked in with Lin Li. As soon as they entered here, their strength was suppressed, and the arrogance here seemed to affect Yi Xingchen's eternal Tao seed. However, his eternal Tao seed is the perfect eternal Tao seed, so there is no problem. It's not easy here, Yi Xingchen said. Master Star Palace, this place is very dangerous. Not long after I came in last time, I encountered a terrifying monster and was directly injured. However, there are really a lot of resources here. Lin Li said. You stay here, I'll go ahead and have a look. Yi Xingchen went to take a deeper look. And Lei was waiting here. After a while, Yi Xingchen suddenly came back, but with serious injuries. Walk. Yi Xingchen brought Lin Lei out. But Lin Li was very shocked. He knew Yi Xingchen's strength. When the Endless Kingdom just allowed outside forces to settle in, there was Eternal Tao Realm who made trouble and was directly suppressed by Yi Xingkang. He has seen Yi Xingchen's strength before, it is extremely powerful, far surpassing him now. But such a powerful Yi Xingchen was injured in that place. Lin Li, this place does have a lot of resources, and there may even be some good things, but they are also very dangerous. I can't determine them specifically. I will ask my father to go and have a look. The specific contribution value will be announced to you later. Yi Xingchen said. It is good. Lei nodded. Subsequently, Yi Xingchen went to find his father, Yi Tianxia. Chapter 2979 Tree Heart Demon Seed. Father. Yi Xingchen came to Yi Tian, and told about the treasure that Lin Li found. Oh, the treasure land that makes everyone feel dangerous, I'll go and see it. Yi Tian followed Yi Xingchen to that place. Using Lin Li's way of entering, the two entered. This treasure land is really hidden. I didn't even find it when I approached it. That Lin Li probably discovered it by chance. Yi Tian murmured. Immediately, he went deep into this treasure land to investigate the situation, and did not let his son follow him. As Yi Tian went deeper, a snake-like monster with tentacles attacked him. The strength of this kind of monster is not weak, it is equivalent to a stronger eternal Tao realm, but it is not as good as a strong person who has cultivated the eternal Tao seed. Through the exploration of copying talent, Yi Tian knew the name of this monster. Magic, 683, Blood Bone Snake. Yi Tian killed him with one blow, and then checked the condition of the opponent's body. Among them, there is some demon-seeded breath, but it is not a demon-seeded. Yi Tian secretly thought. So, he continued to go deep, killing some of these creatures that contained the aura of the devil along the way. And the resources found along the way, he is too lazy to collect, not of much use to him, but it should be very attractive to other eternal realms. Soon, Yi Tian came to the depths of this treasure land and found a weird giant tree. The giant tree was split open, and a black-red heart grew out of it. The heart was still beating, and every beat conveyed a kind of similar to the breath of a demon. It was this breath that infected those creatures. In other words, those creatures were bred by this breath. What is this thing? Yi Tian was puzzled. As he approached the giant tree began to attack him. Court death. Yi Tian started fighting with this giant tree, relying on his powerful strength, forcibly beat the giant tree to pieces. In the end, he broke through the giant tree and took out its inner heart. After the heart was taken out, the giant tree fell completely and died. Seeing this heart, he thought of the evil slayer vine. These two things must be of the same type, they seem to be alike. Then, Yi Tian immediately put this heart into his eternal Tao seed to see the situation. Boom, the heart is put into the eternal Tao seed, and gradually begins to merge with the eternal Tao seed, but its effect is different from that of the evil slaying vine. The evil slaying vine is to enhance the eternal Tao seed, and this heart only slightly improves the eternal Tao seed. Integrate energy into the eternal zone. It can be seen from this that the value of this heart should not be as good as the evil slaying vine. After all, a strong man with a perfect eternal Tao body, or a strong man who has surpassed eternity to Tao realm, does not need to upgrade the eternal Tao body, so the heart is of little use to them, and it is far less valuable than the evil vine. Certainly, Yi Tian still needs this thing very much. I don't know the name of this heart, so let's call it the tree heart demon seed. Yi Tian murmured. Afterwards, he explored this treasure land, and there were indeed a lot of resources, but it was only suitable for those strong people with eternal Taoism, and it was of little help to him. However, he still killed the powerful creatures here, so that there is no threat to his son and the others. Let them come here to slowly collect resources. Wow, Yi Tian came to Yi Xingqian's side. Father, are you done exploring? Yi Xingqian asked. Yeah, Yi Tian nodded. There are a lot of resources here, but they are of little help to me. I have already killed almost all the powerful creatures, so there is no threat to you. You can slowly collect resources here in the future. The harvest should be this. Yi Tian took out the heart from the eternal Tao seed. I call this thing the tree heart demon seed. For the eternal Tao realm of imperfect Tao seeds, it is a disaster, and it will turn them into demon seeds, but for we have practiced the eternal supreme Tao realm of the perfect eternal Tao seed. It is a treasure that can improve the eternal Tao seed and the eternal Tao body. When I raise the eternal Tao body to the perfect state, I will give it to you at that time. After you use it up, and to your mother and sister. Yi Xingqian was pleasantly surprised that there were such treasures. In this way, it will be easy for him to improve his eternal Tao body. Father, this treasure land was discovered by Linli. How much contribution should we give? Yi Xingqian asked. Yi Tian pondered for a while, and said a number, 1 million. 1 million contribution value. This contribution value is not low. The contribution value of Endless Kingdom is difficult to obtain, and the standard is very high. For example, the Endless Tao seed only needs 200,000 contribution points to exchange it. One can imagine how many good things are worth exchanging for 1 million contributions. Yes, Yi Xingqian responded. Subsequently, they are out. Yi Tian is not afraid of the tree heart demon being discovered for the time being, so he puts it on his body. After all, the great king of the gods has already left here, and he does not have the strength to surpass the eternal realm. Condition. Return to the capital city of the endless realm. Yi Tian went to practice, and Yi Xingqian contacted Lin Lei. Soon, Lin Li came to Yi Xingqian. How master of the Star Palace? Lin Li said respectfully. Lin Li, my father has investigated and is going to give you 1 million contribution points. Yi Xingqian said. 1 million contribution value. Lei was shocked. He thought it would be good to give at most a few 100,000 contribution points, and with his own savings, he might be able to make up 200,000 contribution points, which can be exchanged for the inheritance of endless Tao seeds. It turned out that the Terran Temple was so generous that it gave him 1 million contribution points every day. Thank you, Lord Star Palace. Lei grateful. Soon, 1 million contribution value arrived. Lin Li immediately went to exchange for the Endless Tao Seed inheritance, and then went to the depths of the human race temple, where he received the Endless Tao Seed inheritance. Before accepting the inheritance, you need to make an oath. Soon, the oath was made, and Lin Li officially accepted the inheritance of the Endless Tao Seed. After a long time, all the inheritances of the Endless Tao Seeds were accepted. Then, Lin Li revealed an inconceivable expression. It turned out to be a 4.4 high-level Eternal Tao species. He was beyond shock. He heard that many kings cultivated only the medium Eternal Tao seed. Advanced Eternal Tao seeds are extremely rare, their value is too high, and the chance of becoming a demon seed is very small. As long as you don't die, and don't take some resources that increase the demon seed indiscriminately, you can almost cultivate to the perfect realm of the Eternal Tao body smoothly. The contribution value of 200,000 can be exchanged for the inheritance of the high-level Eternal Tao seed. This is too cheap. It is impossible for other forces to obtain the inheritance of the high-level Eternal Tao seed. Lin Li was extremely thankful that he had handed over the treasure land, otherwise he would not have been able to obtain the Endless Tao seed inheritance so quickly. Compared with the Endless Tao seed inheritance, the second-class Eternal Tao seed inheritance he obtained before is simply hot chicken. Go back and practice the Endless Tao seed immediately. Lin Shui said excitedly. Chapter 2980 The Plan of King Qingyuan. Not long after, Lin Li succeeded in cultivating the Endless Tao seed, and his strength skyrocketed. As the news spread, more human beings from Eternal Tao realm are eager to exchange for endless Tao seeds, but they don't have enough contribution points. Afterwards, Linley used the remaining contribution points to exchange for many resources that would help improve the Eternal Tao body, but the human race temple did not have many such resources, so these resources were very expensive. However, Linley's cultivation environment in the human race is much better than that of other forces in the Eternal Supreme Tao realm. Humanity has one more strong man who has cultivated the Eternal Tao seed. Yi Tian didn't pay much attention, but just knew about it. Yi Tian is still working hard to practice, and other duplicate bodies are still wandering around, looking for some resources. After all, the duplicate body can't be restricted, so if you look for more resources, maybe you will encounter a big opportunity. In this way, tens of millions of years of the Tao era have passed without knowing it. This day, with the help of the Tree Heart Demon Seed and the Evil Slaying Vine, Yi Tian finally raised the 07 body of Eternal Tao to the Dacheng realm, and his overall strength skyrocketed. Boom! Yi Tian exuded an incomparably powerful aura, which far surpassed that of the ancient king. And what he cultivates is the perfect Eternal Taoist body, which is no less than other Eternal Taoist realms that have cultivated the Eternal Taoist body to a perfect state. The point is, Yi Tian's Eternal Tao seed has also become extremely powerful, which makes his strength even more terrifying than those with perfect Eternal Tao body. However, his strength should still be inferior to that of Qinhe, who is half a step beyond the Eternal Tao realm, and the strength gap should be huge. If my Eternal Tao body is promoted to the perfect state, my strength should not be weaker than Qinhe. Yi Tian estimated. Virtual domain, the headquarters of the Congenital Origin Alliance. The first elder is practicing, and he seems to have reached a critical moment. At a certain moment, the breath of the Eternal Tao seed emerged from his body. However, this is not the real Eternal Tao seed. Ha 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 ha, after endless years, I finally managed to master it. The first elder was very excited. In fact, he had concealed something from Yi Tian at the beginning. He had practiced a very special secret technique, Qingyuan Taoism. This kind of secret technique needs to be practiced from eternity to Taoism. Once you have mastered the Qingyuan Tao seed, you can easily break through to the Eternal Tao realm, and in the future, you can easily transform into a real Eternal Tao seed with very low side effects. It is also because he is practicing the Qingyuan Tao seed that his progress from eternity to Tao transformation is very slow. Similarly, because of this, the first demon venerable was not happy until the eternity reached Taoism. Of course, the Qingyuan Tao seed is also very weird. Once you start to practice, you can't stop, and you can't even practice the Eternal to Tao secret art. He also obtained an Eternal to Tao secret art from human hands. The Eternal Taoism secret technique, but it is different from the policeman's Taoism. Therefore, he gave up the ordinary Eternal Supreme Tao transformation secret technique. Now, after practicing the Qingyuan Tao seed, his Eternal to Tao transformation rapidly improved. Eternal to Taoization 40%. Eternal to Taohua 50%. Seeing the speed of eternity to Taoization so fast, the first elder was extremely excited. Master Qingyuan really didn't lie to me. The Taoist Qingyuan is really powerful. Maybe I have hope to catch up with Yi Tian's strength, said the first elder. He is going to break through and become the Eternal Tao realm before going to the Eternal realm. In the past, he didn't go to the Eternal Kingdom, not because he was a salty fish, but because he wanted to concentrate on cultivating the Qingyuan Tao seed, and he was worried that he would be dangerous due to lack of strength. Of course, he didn't tell Yi Tian about these things. After all, this is his deepest secret. After a period of time, the first elder's Eternal to Tao transformation has reached 70% of the state, and it is estimated that his Eternal to Tao transformation will reach 100% of the perfect state in a short time. In a blink of an eye, millions of Tao era years passed. Boom! The first patriarch's Eternal to Taoist realm has reached the realm of 100% perfection. Ha ha ha, the Qingyuan Tao seed is too powerful. I can break through to the Eternal Tao realm anytime now. Subsequently, he chose to attack the Eternal realm in the Yuanlao Hall. The first elder broke through, and there was a lot of movement, which shocked the entire Congenital Origin Alliance. Human domain. A duplicate body of Yi Tian is still staying here. He sensed the aura of the first elder, and was shocked when he saw the first elder break through to the Eternal Supreme Tao realm. How did the first elder break through to the Eternal realm? Yi Tian was extremely puzzled. He remembered that he had met the first elder not long ago. At that time, the Eternal Supreme Tao of the first elder hadn't even reached the 40% realm. There is no opportunity in the imaginary domain, even if the first elder is assisted by the secret art of eternity and Taoism. Without resources, there is no way to quickly improve. Furthermore, this improvement speed is too fast. Even with resource assistance, it is impossible to improve so quickly. Swish, Yi Tian went over to have a look. With his strength, the formations arranged by the first elder could not be stopped at all. He easily pierced through many formations with his eyes, and saw the first elder who was in the process of breaking through. Seeing this, Yi Tian was stunned. Eternal Tao Seed breath. No, it's not the real Eternal Tao Seed, it just has the breath of the Eternal Tao Seed. It should be a pseudo-Eternal Tao Seed. Or, he has never seen this kind of method, and he doesn't know where he got the first copy. 037. Suddenly, he thought of Lord Qingyuan. The identity of the Lord Qingyuan is mysterious, and he has never heard of it, but he is definitely not the Lord of the 10,000 Gods Kingdom Alliance but a lord from far away. This pseudo-eternal Taoist inheritance must be passed on to the first elder by the Lord Qingyuan. It's strange, what does the Lord Qingyuan pass on to the first elder? This can't replace the real eternal first. Yi Tian was curious. He is not going to ask the first elder either. This should be the secret of the first elder. It would be impolite to ask. So, he returned to the human domain, but did not ask about this matter. Soon after, the first elder made a formal breakthrough and reached the realm of eternity, and then held a big banquet, inviting many elders, and Yi Tian also participated, but he didn't say anything. The eternal border, the death zone. An old figure stepped forward step by step and came to the death zone where the ancient kingdom was located. Hey, this should be the ancient country. Why is the ancient country gone? It seems that the ancient kingdom has collapsed. Forget it, let's go to Void Realm quickly. The seeds are ripe and must be harvested. If the first elder was here, he would definitely recognize that this figure is the Lord Qingyuan.